Welcome, 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 friends. OG Marpe here with you, ready to run some D&D. This is a substantial upgrade from last week. If you joined us then, everything was hand drawn, and we were in, dry erase marker mode, if you will. And this week, I had the time to put together some maps, and we actually have a real visual representation, which is always fun. One of the benefits of doing this virtually. We're going to be running some D&D tonight. This is all totally 100% homebrew stuff out of yours truly's imagination. On that note, we do not play a straight rule set. It is largely based on Pathfinder First Edition, and that's the game system that we built all of our characters within. But there are different homebrew elements of 5e and some homebrew elements of 3.5e, and I've recently started playing Pathfinder Second Edition, and we may either switch over to that or adapt some of that stuff at this point as well. We are going to go. We got 3 players. They're ready to play some D&D. I'm ready to run some D&D. Thank you guys for being here, and let's fucking get to it. All right, I'm live. What's up? What happened last week, guys?
Okay. Last time on Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z.
We had obviously been at the point where Max had found that one bridge where basically it was looked like a bridge and looked like a bridge we could cross. Maybe not perfect, but it looked like it went all the way through. Through the use of magic and whatnot, Max was able to figure out that the bridge actually had magical disguises and shit on it, because it wasn't a full bridge. It basically, if we were to start just walking across it, no matter how careful it was, we would have just fallen off halfway through because it didn't go the full way. At this point, Titus had tied up the horses, and we had fixed the bridge through magic to kind of repair it so that we could cross. We crossed. We had conversations with an eagle, the giant ones, kind of Tolkien style, who basically were like, "Hey, funky shit going on. We don't know what it is. We may help you, but we ain't your enemies. Don't worry about us." So they left. We were able to, with Echo, she guided through the pathway. And as we kept going and going deeper and deeper and deeper to get to where the lights and things like that were coming from, it would get smokier, and there was more soot, and there was ash and all that. We finally get to a point where it kind of stops, and there's magical mirage situation that Max had noticed, where it's you're moving your head one way and you're seeing it, and then you move your head another way and you don't. So at this point, it's kind of, I can't remember, I think it was Max or Echo, I think was the one who went first, but it's you go through, you're gone. Next person goes through. I know Titus had to be pulled in because he's kind of having an existential life crisis moment due to the werebore shit that's been happening the past few sessions. Once we all got in, though, Echo was able to use her, basically magical spell to perform, a perception check to see through the smoke, and we saw, these weird-looking guards. There were 2 of them, which were basically just the faceless men, which we encountered in the infamous cart fight of 2023. And then there was this hag one, this ugly ass bitch, who had it was basically what you think would happen if a transformation went wrong. It had multiple mouths, multiple eyes, noses. It was really weird.
Multiple
But we
orifice
also
Mildred.
what?
It was multiple orifice Mildred.
Multiple orifice Mildred. Got that in
Yeah.
the notes. You know what? I'm gonna grant inspiration for remembering multiple orifice Mildred to you.
And then also, as I think we remember last time, it started out as multiple orifice Mary, which has officially become Mary Plumbottom, a previous character's nickname in high school. But yeah, basically that it seemed to be the 2 faceless ones were kind of guards. She was the top one out of the 2. They also was a group of people who were chained together, and they were mining and stuff. Also, there was this little bat that was flying over, and it was flying in a pattern, as if it was a scout. We ended up basically, we shot that sucker down. We go through the fight, kill the shapeshifters, kill the multiple orifice Mildred, And basically, we get to start talking with these people, and it's kind of just like, yeah, we were like kidnapped, and some of our families died on the way, and like, we've been here for a while, get us out. We let a few of them out, like, we freed them all. Most of them ran off, except this one guy. I can't remember how to pronounce his name.
Ben.
Yeah, Then. Basically, he's like an older guy, but like he's basically like his family died on the way up here. He ain't got much to live for basically, and it's like he's kind of on what I would consider like a revenge suicide mission, where it's like, if I live, cool, but I don't, if I die sticking it to him and avenging my family, also cool. He actually is like a really fun character in the sense of, one, he be throwing daggers and shit, which helped us when Echo and Max missed a bat and almost got freaking exposed, but also because we finally got confirmation on Waruk, Echo's father, since he knew him and had seen him at least a month ago, so we're on the right track here, tracking this guy down. Ben agreed to go through with us and basically show us through, like, kind of the areas to look at a few more of the camps, because it was briefly mentioned, and I know Dave said he wanted to hop in on this, there is like a cycle to how these work, because it is like a slave camp, so like they're running through different things, and he knows like the general pattern, so he knows like, okay, we can get through, at least take some more of these people out maybe within such and such time limit. And I think that's where we left off, is when Ben had killed that one bat and we were going to like the next camp, or we were kind of just following his lead.
I want to say we had like come up on the next camp at a distance.
Yeah, we'd barely started to come up on it, and that's when we ended.
That sounds fairly accurate to me. I don't really have a whole lot to add there. I do remember it was Echo who went, like, basically like headed off towards the next pit basically. Um, and the other two are tagging, or the other three, I guess, including Then, are now tagging along. And we are gonna do character intros here in just a minute, but I, do want to remind everybody that I'm gonna start like as Then mid conversation with Max about the like line of inquiry that he had started last week, and then we'll pick up with you guys. Like you guys are on the map now, but don't worry about this. This is just like a rendering of what it looks like, because a lot of these pits are more or less the same, right? They're like these big pits surrounded by lava and these like ruined buildings. These buildings don't have walls and roofs. They're like crumbling remains and waist high stuff, and some of the corners are standing, but like not a single one of these is completely intact, and like lava's flowing through some of them. And so we'll pick up right outside of this bundle. But let's do character intros real quick, and let's go reverse Discord order. I think that's the way. I like to switch it up every once in a while. So Andreas, talk about your character.
All right, so my character is Max. He is a human cleric. He's basically coming from the city of Fort Saucus, and after hearing about stuff from the previous character, Tim, he kind of favors using a crossbow, but he also does a bunch of other spells, some of which we'll hopefully get to try out tonight. So that's pretty fun. Him and Echo kind of started off on a rocky foot because he's he kind of just I guess tried to just like talk to her and like, or not talk to her, but be charismatic or whatever, and it didn't work at all. She kind of called him on his bluff, but I think they've been working towards a better relationship now. And then I don't know, Titus and him were palling around a little bit because it was like the whole, who's find someone to spend money with for a bit.
Shopping buddy.
Yeah. That's it.
Cool. Sounds great. Then we move on to the next person, Jennifer. Talk about your character.
Yeah, Echo, also called Ozot, is basically a tiefling. She's a bit more buggy inspired than demony, if I would describe her that way. She is a hunter, which is the Pathfinder. I guess they do they made their own hybrid classes. It's like a druid and a ranger combined. She is a archer primarily, but she does have daggers in case of close combat fighting. Her big mission here is find her dad, who, is a shaman for their orcish kind of style clan, who's been missing for like a month now, and basically she's on a mission to find him. As Max was mentioned, as Max mentioned, not the greatest relationship to start off with due to like very highly different cultural, values and differences, and also like racism on both sides, because this is D&D and racism gonna racism. Kind of less so with Titus, more just like personality clashes, but they're learning to get along better. There's also
Nah,
her
Echo's
animal.
kind of a bitch.
What'd you say? I heard bitch.
Yeah, Echo's kind of a bitch.
Well, yeah. How you think she gonna act? She was raised in a cave.
Like a polite cave monster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then there's Pepper, which is her animal companion. She is a giant mantis. Bit more chill than Echo due to her own little past story.
Oh, I got it.
And yeah, she's just kind of along for the ride because it's her animal companion Pepper, and she's just here to do stuff and, hopefully not get killed. Maybe lay an egg in the process if Dave's dice is lenient.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something that I don't think I did for the last since you guys woke
I was
up.
gonna say roll it. If you can, we might get a salt or a little paprika.
I'm keeping these results until after all intros anyway, but that does bring us to Jeremy.
Playing
boy.
Titus Cox. He is a half-orc?
Yeah.
Half-orc fighter. He's not very deep. He's pretty shallow, all things considered. He's just a mercenary looking for a good payout, and buddied along with some of Max's buddies and met Max transitively through that. Came in touch with Echo and Pepper. Their stars, all of their collective stars aligned and whatnot, and now we are the most motley of crews.
The most motley of crews.
And one day he will earn Pepper's companionship, and Pepper will abandon Echo.
How are you? If Pepper heard that, you would make her cry.
Okay, fine. Titus is gonna raise Pepper's kid.
The idea of last time of what would happen if Titus and Pepper. Oh yeah, basically we should mention
Oh
that.
fuck.
Yeah, Pepper and Titus have like a chill
We're
broship.
homies.
Bromance
We're
basically.
absolute
We have
homies.
there is no actual sexual things, but we have joked about it. And if they did have a kid, it'd basically be a giant Pepper with tusks and a green mohawk. Oh, we are sick people.
Then, getting back to present moment, the last, let me see here, 4 or 5 days have been grueling, but you guys have finally gotten to the destination, the spot marked on the map, and it's obvious to you why you would need a map to wind your way through these mountains and get to this place, which is not what it seems from the outside, which was mundane ruins, long abandoned, quiet, and and bright under the sunlight. And though it was past midday when you entered the illusionary effect which surrounds this place, it became as night as soon as you pass through the threshold. And the air became hot and thick, and the only light that you have to see by is the low glow of the flows of lava which go through, and the occasional dim brazier, out of a work pit. Uh, you've learned a couple of things while you've been here, but there are still many questions left unanswered. And there are four very grateful freed prisoners now who have made their way towards the edge of the illusion and out of this place. And they wanted to take a ship out of here, but you guys were like, "There's a sea drake out there," and they said, "A what now?" And decided to hoof it instead. Um, and you guys are now like continuing on. You're in the outermost seventh layer of the city, which is set up in all these concentric rings with this big, you know, building in the center of town, which is obviously very old, but is the only thing that's like standing here. And like these, veins of lava are all like flowing out from that central point. You've made your way from one of these work pits to the outside edge of another with Fen, who is an aging ex-fighter of some sort. You guys don't really know. He says that he doesn't have anything left to go home to, and if he can help any of his fellow prisoners escape, that's like a noble use of what's left of his life. And so, you guys, just with Fenn's help, we're able to dispatch one of the bats and are now like hanging around outside the edge of another one of these pits. You can hear the clang, clang, clang of the metal, bits against the stone, the like chattering of the faceless men who, they do speak in a language that just comes out unnaturally. And you guys are far enough outside of this that you're not within eyesight, and you're basically deciding how you're going to proceed. Then has just been asked, by Max, tell me about what happens here, what's a day look like tell me how this place works. And so we're going to start there, and then within earshot of the rest of the group, reminds you guys, like, well, you caught us at the end of the first shift, but in an hour or two, when we're not there for shift change, they're gonna send somebody looking to find out what happened. And so, just I'll help you guys, do what you need to do, save as many people as you can save, find whatever you're looking for, but you know, but we have a couple of major shifts: a morning shift, a night shift. We work 24 hours, and we get occasional meal breaks. There are barracks that we reside in as a chain gang. The chains never come off of us, and they keep us towards the center of town where the rings are smaller. And he is going to tell you guys that that what you discovered with his group is like very typical. He's like, I've been on a couple of these chains. They never put us in the same pit twice. This whole area is just like pockmarked with all of these pits. And he's like, it's a different one every day. And he says that they will split up gangs occasionally, and that they're just like unspeakably cruel to them, and make them work 24 hours a day, with short rest breaks, and the shifts are really just to like move them around the city. But you guys are
Andre,
outside the pit in the clay.
Andreas posted a drawing, and I feel like it needs to be pointed out.
Okay, here we go. Let's take a look. It's cute.
It's paprika.
It's cute. It's paprika. Straight out of the 80s.
But right outside of the pit.
You guys are not like right outside the pit. You guys are not on this map. But you can hear that there's one nearby because they're working. It's labor, it's the ringing of the metal. Like, it's very obvious that it's nearby.
Uh, I guess at this point, start looking out for those bats and trying to figure out where the sound's coming from precisely.
Yeah, I want to say like that was our plan last time. Is like Max and Echo were kind of on like bat duty, and I feel like maybe continuing that, like keeping an extra eye out for any more bats while we sneak.
Yeah, I mean, sounds good. If you guys are close enough that you can see, and if I remember correctly, Echo was on the like ass end of one of her like super eagle eye spells, and so I'll just carry that through here narratively and say that she can see that there's one more of these bats darting around, and she can see another, three humanoid figures floating around the edge of the pit.
Okay. I think it's like Max is like within whispering to Echo.
Yeah, you guys are all just like huddled together.
Okay. Echo's just gonna be like kind of point out the bat and get her bow ready to like shoot at it.
Max is gonna, crossbow ready in case that ends up missing.
Yeah. Let's not get a repeat of last time.
Okay, if you guys want, you guys can both like take a simultaneous shot on this guy, and you guys can like start sneak attack round together if you guys just both want to shoot it at him.
If you want to, you can, Andreas. I'm gonna tell you now. I did roll, and it was a good roll. It was a 19.
Well, hold on. Let him make his decision. He doesn't need to know the results of your roll. It's.
I think I can basically kind of like it's happened before. Max is loading up his crossbow, and in the time that he's like lifting it up already, Echo's already just shot off the thing.
Yeah, that narratively tracks that like your crossbow just like takes longer to load and it's like a little bit more cumbersome, and is not necessarily like your primary weapon of choice. Like magic would be your primary weapon of choice, right? And so, whereas this is like Echo's like extension of her body, so she's just like on it. Love that. What's your final, Echo?
How far is that? Is it within 30 or 110 feet?
I mean, that's up to you. How close would you have gotten before you took your shot?
Well, I mean, like in the air, because it's in the air, right?
Yeah, I mean it's in the air, but I mean it doesn't hover more than like 30 feet off the ground.
Okay, I'm gonna just do the 110. It's gonna come out to a total of 29.
For a total of 29, that hits for sure. Roll your damage.
Is Max attacking also?
Max is not. He's like at the ready in case of a miss, basically.
I think normally Titus would probably attack as well, but I think I'm still gonna roleplay him as like shell shocked from the previous transformation.
Yeah, and he like when he saw the bad guys in the last encounter, he like definitely like flipped into battle mode automatically, like it's just this ingrained thing. But I'm almost imagining like how like a depressed individual just like slogs their way through work. You know what I mean? He's just like he's doing it, but the joy is not there. It's just he's just swinging an axe.
I do have a Titus question. Does Titus have a ranged weapon, like besides like throwing?
I think I just have I just have a javelin.
Okay, good to know. We have the electric javelin. Okay, total of 10 on the bat.
I think it's a regular javelin now, isn't it?
It's
did Jardy use the electric on it?
Yeah, it was
the once electric javelin.
Only single usage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you went up and picked it up anyway. That is exactly the kind of thing that you could like hand to Charis and be like, "This only works once, and that makes me frustrated." And Charis could be like, "Let me fix that for you." Like that's exactly his kind of shit for sure.
Bat for 10.
Bat for 10. Yeah, absolutely. The bat like fucking gets winged by this arrow and just like flies out of there. And whereas last time the bat like fell to the ground, this time the bat just like flew off and the arrow like lands in the lava nearby, and there's just kind of like a sizzling sound, and it like starts to let out a screech and doesn't even get like a single chirp out, and it's like gone. And if you will give me a moment,
Un memento.
uh, you nobody. There doesn't appear to be an immediate reaction, but you do notice that the talking stops between the humanoid figures, which I will actually put on the map now that we're here. All right. So you like wing it. They stop talking. Everybody's still working. Nothing appears to immediately change.
I think like Echo's just gonna put his arm out to Max and like maybe just wait like 30 seconds or so to just see if anything, like if they're looking around or like, you know.
Yeah, give me a perception check. If you guys want to place yourself on the map at any point in time, you're approaching from this direction, but you can place yourself wherever you want on on those parts of the map. And as a reminder, these are not like complete buildings. These are like ruined footprints of buildings, which do provide partial cover, have some low walls, but they're crumbling. It's decayed. The floors are loose. It's not it's not the kind of place where you'd be able to like find something to hide behind super well. But it is it is something.
Total of 24.
Total of 24. Echo is, peering ahead and listening, and she makes out the sound of like a gruff bark, of like, all right, weapons down, and or tools down, and the like clanging of the metal stops, and you hear the like clanking together of like metal on metal and like wood on wood, as they're being like tossed to the side, is kind of what it sounds like. And it sounds like work is being stopped, much like it was at the first pit when they like were suspect of something going on.
Max is gonna whisper to Titus, and he's whispering like, "Whenever you're ready to run out there, let me know, and I'll give you a bit of a buff."
I'm not sure quite how depressed he should be. I'm, I'm having a difficult time like trying not to go Eeyore. I'm like, I don't know if I can kill them hard enough anymore, God.
Andreas, you better draw an emo Titus.
So So basically, what he's giving him the sad Eeyore face a little bit, or like Dave's not really into it, and it's hand on his shoulder, he's kind of crouching down to avoid being looked. It's like, come on, you got this, buddy. You got the sharpest axe I know. You'll cut him clean in half. I believe in you.
Are you saying this loud enough that Echo could hear?
Yeah, it's in the small group here. Yeah, you guys can hear it.
Like Echo's gonna just look at Titus and it's like, "You're a warrior. Be a warrior."
I'm not a warrior anymore.
If Dave hadn't really banned us from slapping each other, I feel like Echo would slap him to try to motivate him right now.
You got guys to slap right there. They're right there in front of you. Slap those guys.
I know. But sometimes the dramatic effect is fun. And we got Eeyore.
I guess Titus will give like a half-hearted jog towards them with his axe drawn.
Before he does get out of range, Max is going to he's gonna cast Sanctuary on him.
Okay, sounds great. Go ahead and burn your spell slot. Cast your spell.
Look, using buffs.
I know, before the battle even starts and everything.
I know. We've grown up, Dave. No longer are the days of the goblin quinceañeras.
Funny. Let me make sure the grid is off snapping. Great. So Then is basically going to stick with you, Titus. He's just gonna treat the two of you as a unit, and he's just gonna kind of like move in behind you with his dagger.
Okay. Let's see, that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25,
Damn, that was gonna die instantly.
30. Yeah, so that'll be my surprise round action, is just moving.
Okay. Sounds great. Like I said, they've stopped, but they haven't immediately noticed anybody yet. So as you get to probably about this point, is when you're spotted by the like many-mouthed, many-eyed, creature that is, this is not a accurate representation. He's definitely a humanoid, not like a big blob. But this like humanoid like points a jagged, I call it a finger, but it's like bent all wrong and it's got too many nails in it, out towards you, and says, "Get them!" And I need everybody to roll initiative, myself included.
Can echoes stay hidden at this point or no?
I mean, I don't have. I don't think I have a previous stealth roll written down for you guys. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. No, it's another one.
I know to try to stealthily get to somewhere to do a sneak attack, but I don't know if I do that, do I roll initiative or no?
No, I mean, yeah, you still roll initiative because you're gonna move at half speed unless you have a feat that says otherwise, and you're basically just gonna take one of your movements per turn to like move in stealth, and I'll just ask for that stealth roll as we're starting combat here.
Okay.
Oh, no, we're at 16.
Okay, anybody over 20?
Hold on, I don't think.
24.
Wow. Wow.
That's going to be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Total of 14 for the initiative.
Okay, great. And your stealth.
17.
My stealth. Let me check.
Max, Echo.
Andreas, what's 16 plus 16?
32.
32. Okay. 32 for my stealth.
Okay, great. With that absolutely killer roll, Titus is going to get to start us off. You're close enough to the pit to where you can't see the whole thing, but you can see that one of the faceless men is down at the bottom, and he's like collected up all of the tools, and they're like in a pile next to the stairs. Everybody else is like chained together. They're kind of like huddled down into a ball, and as with the other pit, one end of the chain on each side is like locked into these big like boulders with links on them. Up on top of on the other side is the many-faced deal and another faceless creature. What do you want to do with your turn?
Where are the chains bolted to at the boulders?
They are right here. The boulders on like the side of the cave wall on the bottom of the floor.
Okay. So, is there essentially like a single hook where all of them are anchored to, or do they have their own individual anchors?
No, they're all tied to the same set of chains, and that chain is anchored on both sides of the pit.
Okay. Let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Perfect. I would like to come here, use my first action to attack the anchor to break the chains free.
Okay, sounds great. And to clarify, this is just a bend in the chain because somebody's like, standing here in the middle. The anchors are on like the sides of the wall.
Oh.
I just have to draw straight lines to draw the line, because that's the tool I
Right.
use.
No, I thought the anchor was on this rock and then it was stretching out to them that way.
No, yeah, we got two anchors. We got one on that side. We got one on this side. But you can still strike the chain in the middle and allow them basically freedom of movement on each side of the pit. It just kind of like depends on what your goal is. But you were much closer to the anchor on this side, which is why I made that comment.
10, 15.
And it is
20.
it is about a 20-foot pit. So like I will need an acrobatics roll as you like hop down into the pit to like maintain your footing and not take any of the bludgeoning damage.
I almost feel like he would take it because he's so dejected and has no like
Yeah, I'll be totally
um
transparent. It's 1d6
no
per 10
pizzazz.
feet, so it's 2d6 worth of damage. I'll just like be up front.
Yeah.
If you want to take it, you can take it. Otherwise,
Oh, he's definitely taking it.
Oh man, the dice have a story to tell as well.
So
They have
that's
their
a -2.
they have their own ideas about what's going on here. So that ends up being not too bad. Only 5 bludgeoning damage from falling the 20 feet basically and like landing awkwardly. It's that thing where you don't outright roll your ankle, but you feel it flex the entirely wrong direction. It's like, oh, that's going to be sore for like 3 days now. And so he lands, but with a thud, and he can absolutely take that strike on the link on the side if he wants to do so.
That is what he's going to do.
And there's just like a cry. There's like a scream from everybody on the chain as you like come out of seemingly nowhere and just like cannonball into this space. Everybody's just like freaking out down here in this pit.
8 plus 13 is 21 to hit.
21 will hit a iron link not going anywhere. I don't even think you need to roll damage because you're quite strong, but go ahead and roll anyway. See if you get a big number, and we'll say some fun words.
Really, I fucking max damage that, so 20 slashing damage. Or 20.
With 20 slashing damage, I am gonna say that I'm absolutely maxing out on that damage. That you come through and take that swipe with the axe as you jump into this pit, and then just like grab the chain and just like yank it, as part of that attack, and you like dislodge it from the other side of the wall as well. And you just like completely destroy, like they're still linked together, but you've like completely destroyed both anchors in just like 1 feat of strength as you slam into this thing.
Once I break them free, I'm just gonna scream, "Get to cover," and I want to use my momentum from my metal hitting a blunt object, like sort of when you know how if you hit like a hammer or something on something flat, it'll kind of bounce back to you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna use that momentum of coming back up to swing back around, and I'd like to throw my axe at the faceless here.
Your like whole big ass two-handed axe.
Oh yeah.
Okay. How much movement did you use to get down into the pit?
I used 25 feet of walking movement, or 20 feet of walking movement, and then that 20-foot drop.
And that 20-foot drop. Drop is free, especially because you ended up taking the damage on that.
Right. So I have like 5 more feet to come this way as I'm using the momentum to like swing it.
All right, sounds good. You are, your 6 seconds for this turn is up. You've got your standard and your movement action in there. But, I am going to account for that momentum and let you roll that attack with advantage when we come back to it on your next round.
Because I have 2 attacks.
Oh, you have 2 attacks.
Yeah.
I did not realize you had 2 attacks. Fuck yeah, roll that shit. Go. Yeah.
It's a lesser addition to my attack roll. So my normal attack is a +8. Do you want me to have like some sort of penalty since I'm throwing it and you're not supposed to throw a big fucking axe?
Traditionally, it's -4.
Okay, so it's normally +8, so it's a +4, so 19 to hit.
There's a 19 to hit a faceless. I am a bad DM and don't have my bad guys dock up. How dare I? Well, the shape changers are right here at the top.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Smash. Smash, smash. Gets him for sure. Roll your damage.
That's some low fucking damage. It's 10 slashing damage.
That's 10 slashing damage.
And I'm assuming it's going to be lodged into its side or some shit.
No, man. These guys are not like super. These guys are not like super strong. These guys are just kind of like underlings. Like they can keep commoners and shit in check, but you guys are level 7 fucking adventurers. When you guys were in the last pit, Titus would just like cleave straight through one of these guys, just straight up like one shot, just like boom, got him. And though you rolled low on your damage, and I did need to roll to see this faceless man's hit points specifically. You still like absolutely fucking like thrashed it. Like you can describe however you want. It can be stuck in the side, his face, or whatever you like, because he's no more. He's gone.
I'm thinking it. He strikes down on the anchor. He uses that momentum coming back and sort of does oh fuck, the Olympic thing where they spin around and they do the slingshot one, not the discus but the other one.
Shot
Nope.
Shot put.
No,
Yeah, I
no,
was
no,
gonna say,
no.
the
It's
one
like a sling.
Trunchable does?
It's like a sling.
Yeah,
Hold on, exactly Trunchable.
it's like a chain ball. I don't know. He just spins around and flings the axe with both hands towards it, and it lodges straight up and down in its face, and then the weight of the axe brings it down and just slowly bisects it.
Nice. I like that quite a bit. Sweet, and that is a very full and eventful turn. Uh, Talking is always free. Anything else you'd like to say while you're at the end of your turn here?
Nah, because I already yelled at the commoners to get to cover, get to safety, or whatever.
And they were cowering and like looking between you and the faceless man, which stood between them and the stairs. And they are like 100% on it now. They're like, absolutely. And I'm actually going to roll them into initiative order as their own entity. Oof, bummer. Civilians. All right, great. So then that does bring us to the baddies, and seeing what's going on down there, we've got some trouble. It looks like the other faceless man is like not super wanting to go down into the pit, and he just like gets grabbed by the many mouth one and just like chucked in, like doesn't use the stairs, doesn't anything, just like tosses this guy into the pit in your general direction, which means he is going to take a little bit of damage on the way in there, and he like gets up hella fucking wounded and like hobbles up towards you, and he's going to take a couple of attacks.
Oh, so.
Oh, Sanctuary.
With,
He's going to try, but he has to roll a will save, I believe. Yeah?
Yeah, it's DC 15.
DC 15. Okay. Well, will is one of their strong suits. But we'll see how this goes. Fails the will save, so he's just not able to attack him.
I think it basically it wastes the action that he was going to use to attack him.
Sick. Cool. Then that'll be it for him. We are going to be up to Multi-Mouth up there, who has some stuff. Okay, there he is. He is going to... Oh, yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to just fucking make his way around the top here.
That sounds rude. He shouldn't do that.
I'm sorry, towards Then, who I'm gonna say Then's not as brave as you, and he's like standing up by the side of the pit and is looking like he's gonna fucking need some help here. But Then's pretty brave. So Max and Echo see him just like charge this fucking many mouthed thing and like try to stab him with this tiny bone dagger that he's been given. Crits, wow, that's crazy. And and does his absolute top tier knockout max damage of 10 to this many mouth creature.
So let me add some flavor to this scene real quick. Titus threw the axe, killed the other thing. The second one charges him, and Titus like turns around looking for Fen because he was bolstered to jump in there because he had somebody coming with him. So now he looks extremely dejected. It's like maybe I can't do this.
But he can catch like the top half of Fen, like Fen from like the shoulders up, like completely engaged in combat with this other thing that's up there. So you know if that makes him feel any better.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. Okay, so we got that. And this thing's going to take an attack on Then, who might not be longed for this world. We're going to take a look here. We're going to see.
It really isn't a suicide mission.
Thank you, baby. Super lands his attack, like 100% lands his attack. And ends up with almost a minimum damage roll. Takes what you guys would consider to be like a relatively light glancing blow, like something that for you guys wouldn't even tick you over from, you know, bloodied to death, like nowhere near enough to move him from one category, you from one category to another. Immediately bloodies Then. He's like not doing great on a blow that's like easily, like he easily did more damage with his strike than he just got hit with. And he's still not looking great. But that is all we've got here. We get to move on. Brings us to Max and Echoes on deck.
Max seeing this, seeing Then nearly get bodied, he's just like, Then get out of there. You're not going to be very useful in a fight. And then let's see, Max is going to kind of pop out of cover here. So let's see, 5, 10, 15, 20. All right, he's going to go here. And he is going to he is going to take a pot shot at Multi-Mouth.
Okay, cool. Give him a go.
That is going to be a...
Multi-Mouth is much easier to hit than the bat is.
+14 10 would be a 24.
That's a big hit. Roll your damage. Oh, and I gotta start putting conditions on my guys too. I forgot that I was doing that.
That's going to be 2 damage.
Okay, all right. With a glancing blow yourself, you fire an arrow, which lands, in this thing, but it just kind of moves awkwardly, folding in on itself, and just like completely consumes the entire arrow, like wood, arrowhead, and all. And you see like a line of blood running out of it. It obviously hurt it, but it literally just ate this fucking bolt.
Max is gonna run another, start going out of cover in this way, and he is basically gonna yell, pick on someone your own size, and get ready to shoot again.
Okay, all right.
That's it for him.
Roll me an intimidation.
14 plus 3, 17.
Yeah, you like see this creature here like turn to you when you say pick on somebody your own size, and you like have its full attention at this point. It is very much so like looking past Then at you now.
And that's gonna be it for Max's turn.
Great, Echo.
Whoop whoop. Okay. What do I want to do? What do I want to do? Okay, so you did.
Nice dinner, babe. It's really good.
This one's still alive. 10. With me being like right about here, would I be in line to make the shot at blah blah blah, blobbity?
Yeah, you can make the shot at Blobbity. I mean, Then is like in the way. I'm assuming that you have all the feats you need to not hit him.
Let me double check just to be sure. Double check.
Because at level 7, any self-respecting hunter would have all that stuff, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think I got it. Let me check.
I know you're a slayer, not a hunter, but it's the same difference.
No, I'm a hunter.
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the feat's called so I can find it.
It's like point blank shot or precise shot.
Yeah, I got point blank shot. I got point. Yeah, okay, we got it. We good.
Cool.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna do a sneak attack on multiple mouth blabby.
Cool, sounds great. Which means he is flat-footed, so go ahead and roll your attack.
Oh shit. Into the dice. Into the dice. Into the dice. Into the dice. Into the.
Do you use your tower bigger?
Yeah, it keeps
There you go.
getting stuck, or then it like gets stuck right at the shit end of it. And I'm like, get the fuck out. Okay. Plus, is he within 30 feet or more?
He is. I think so.
Bit past
Yeah.
35.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So that's gonna be 21 to hit.
21 to hit hits. Roll your damage with your appropriate sneak attack bonuses.
Okay. I keep forgetting, what did we decide on for sneak attack? It was like
It's 1d6 for every. I mean, at least for a standard rogue, it's 1d6 for every. Because it's like a class feature for you, right?
No, I from what I remember, it was a thing of like, we could just sneak attack, we just don't get it as good as a rogue.
Oh, I'm sorry, I assumed that you had some of that stuff. A sneak attack is against the flat. You just have to beat a lower AC to land that. In this instance, I'll give you what you'd get as a first level rogue, which is a bonus d6 worth of damage.
Okay. Roll. That's gonna be for a total of 10.
For a total of 10 on Big Mouth. He is still wounded. He is not quite bloodied yet, which bloodied is below half health.
Okay. And then I'm gonna move Pepper onto this. I'm imagining Pepper was right where Echo started off. Let me see. Pepper's move speed, just to double check. Okay. Pepper's gonna move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, she's gonna.
Well, Pepper's getting in on some stuff, is she?
Pepper's getting in on some stuff, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And that's gonna be it.
Then that does bring us to the civilians, who just rolled absolute dirt poor on their initiative roll. And Titus is gonna see this guy who's like farthest away from the group just like hugs the wall and kind of like scoots behind him, but that does start like wrapping Titus in the chain as everybody else like does as he suggested and like makes towards the exit. But these guys are all like linked together, so like as they're doing this, it's kind of like pushing it's like separating Titus and the ghoul from each other. Could I get a strength check from Titus just like to maintain your footing as this like chains pulling against you. I'm imagining for a man of or a half orc of Titus's stature, we got no problems here, but I want to see it.
Just straight strength, just my strength modifier.
There's a strength modifier. It's not a super high DC.
Right. One second. There we go. Plus 5, 22.
Perfect. Yeah, absolutely. As this guy like, slides kind of between you, and like, everybody else is moving so fast, he like loses his footing, like falls, and just kind of gets like dragged between Titus's legs as he's like, ah! Like flying past, and his like buddies are making their way out. So they've made their movement based on how far the first guy can go, and they are done. We are back at the top. Titus, you're up. You've got this like wounded ghoul in front of you. The civilians are halfway out. The ghoul's kind of like looking at you, looking at them. He's right in front of you. What do you want to do with your turn?
I'm probably gonna attack him.
Yeah, man. Let's do it.
Okay. Nat 20.
Nat 20. Oh man.
30.
Shit, man. Too bad you guys aren't fighting like something real
Something
big. Yeah. Roll your damage, and we have changed the way that we're doing crits. I think in a way where we switched over to a system where you get more damage. You still only roll the damage dice once, but you just add max damage onto it. So instead of like rolling twice, if you're rolling a d12, you just get 12 plus whatever you roll on your d12 plus your modifier, which is always, basically guaranteeing it'll always be more than just a regular hit.
So my critical, if you look on my character sheet, my critical for my mighty cleaving great axe, it says critical 20 times 3, which made me think that I
Oh, you do roll
the
3 times. So so you're gonna roll twice. So you're still gonna get that. One of those 3 dice is a 12, and then you're gonna roll the other 2.
20 though? Why does it say 20?
That means on a 20, because some weapons crit on a 19 or a 20.
Okay.
But your weapon just crits on a 20.
Okay. Okay. So 12 plus 6
18
plus 8 is 26
plus your modifier.
Plus 8 is 42. 32.
32.
For 32 damage, if you will kind of allow me to just narrate, he can die however you want, but in the direction that the viscera flies is up and towards Manymouth. I'm actually
that's
gonna
actually
roll.
exactly what I was gonna ask, is
Perfect.
if I could like uppercut it and sort of like get him in the belly, and the rest of the swing is going to be slightly accelerated once the axe is in him, so it's going to cut and launch him at Manymouth for my second attack.
Sounds great. I went ahead and rolled a morale check for Megamouth in response, and expressions are hard to read on it, but the fact that it literally begins to tremble is a little bit better of an indicator of the effect that you've had. It's not looking nearly as confident as it did a moment ago, as like bits of its friend are like flying up and towards it.
Wonderful.
Wonderful.
So can I do like, I don't know, do an attack roll minus the 4 to like launch that corpse at him and then inflict like bludgeoning damage using the corpse?
Oh, because you do have a second attack, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's
Just
smaller
give
to
me
hit.
give me that same improvise.
Oh my god, I got a nat 20.
A nat 20. Yeah, dude. You fling this thing at him. It like chucks off of him. I'm gonna have you roll it because you're rolling so hot right now. I'll have you roll the dice. Go ahead and roll me a. What's that distance? That's probably 30 feet or so. Go ahead and roll me 3d6.
One. That's 6.
There,
Okay.
I'll upsize your tower.
9. 14. Do you want me to add my modifier?
Fuck it, man. Go for it. Add your modifier.
22 total damage.
22 total damage. Which is as much damage as this thing has taken up to this point in time. And it. Yeah, dude, that actually does it. So in just like one movement, you destroy the remaining enemy, and then fling his like use him as a weapon, like fling his corpse at this other fucking creature. And like that momentum slams into him, and the whole thing just like slams him into the wall, and all of it just like explodes in a mess of like limbs and teeth and nails, and like a bunch of it scatters all over Then. And he just kind of does that classic thing where he turns towards you guys with his eyes closed, and it's just like he's just like covered the entire front, front of him, head to toe, with just like viscera.
Sorry, not sorry.
But you guys are back in free action. That was all that's here. The prisoners run up and they like check in with you guys for a minute. They're like, where did you guys come from? Did you come to rescue us? Is there a way out of here?
We came from one of the other prison camps and coming, pointing the direction we came from. We let loose some of the prisoners from that one. We told them to head, it would be west, right? Because we were heading
Yes, it would
east
be
to get
west. It would be west, correct.
to head west towards the mountains and try and see if they can talk to the giant eagles there and get passage to Ruinswick.
And to take the Eagles to Mordor.
Basic.
But my friend here has a couple of questions she'd like to ask of pointing to Echo.
I feel like Echo, it's the same like kind of demanding tone a bit, where it's like he's trying to get to the next location as quick as possible, where it's like, have you seen an orc? A large orc.
And they all are like, no, I mean, we've been on this chain gang for a while. And like one of the like smaller, scrawnier, obviously malnourished guys in the back takes like a shaky step forward and like lifts his eyes up from the ground and says, I don't know if it's true, but I heard that they took all the biggest and the strongest of us and loaded them all on a boat a while ago. I don't know though.
About where and how long ago?
And he shrugs and says, I don't know. We can't. You can't even see the docks from your hole most of the time. Your pit most of the time. I only ever was digging close to it once. Could feel the sea breeze even through the force field.
Echo, she's gonna take out the drawing and it's just gonna, she's kind of shoving it in people's faces just to see if they've seen that particular orc out of curiosity, but
This dude literally like winces, like shrinks back. As you like aggressively hold this, poster up to. I don't know.
Max is going to go ahead and like hand them each, or hand them not each, but hand them like three rations total, and like just split amongst themselves, and try and make them last before he hands them out. And make your way there. Try and link up with the other survivors, and also he's gonna ask if any of them have found any any fine copper wire in their diggings.
Any what in their diggings?
Fine copper wire. It's a spell component.
And they just like point to the same like open kind of box that has a bunch of like rusty junk sticking out of it, just like was in the last pit. And they say, I don't know, everything we find goes in there.
Max is gonna do a search and see if he can find any of that copper wire in there.
Give me either a charisma or a survival roll as you're thumbing through this box here, looking for something specific.
Charisma, like a flat charisma roll.
Yeah, flat charisma.
Okay, I'll do survival because that's
I
a
about
little
to say,
bit higher.
I know those are usually survival's usually higher, but some folks,
Which, which box?
this box over here, and it's not closed, it's open, and the kinds of stuff that like are immediately obvious glancing at it. There's like old bits of silverware. There's like what was once a candle holder. There's like a rusty axe head off a weapon that's or a tool that obviously wasn't being used by these guys, like much older than that. There's like little indecipherable like metal bits that are just like broken pieces of something at some point. It's just obvious that they've been told to like put everything that's not a rock in this bin, and it's just a lot of like junk.
21 for that roll.
On a 21, Max is like digging through here, and he found something good in the last one, but he's not sure exactly what it was. It seemed to be like an ancient wand of some kind. As he's digging through this one, he is pretty disappointed to find that most of it is mundane junk. But of the mundane junk that is in here, at least some of it is useful to you and your component pouch, as you do find some of that copper wire.
How many pieces would you say?
Enough for a single spell using it as a component.
Sounds good. One fine copper wire, and he wasn't able, if he detect magics in it, he's not going to find any magical stuff in there.
Nope. This one comes back completely mundane. It's all just stuff.
Okay. Max, he's digging through this. He gets pricked by that copper wire because copper wire is pretty tense, and he grabs it, holds it up, it's like perfect, and he pockets that. And he's just he's telling those guys stick to the shadows and stuff, and I guess he's gonna ask Titus to see if he wants to help like break him out the rest of those chains.
There's more? I thought it was just the one set.
They're still chained together. There's still a link of 5 guys. Like you've
Oh.
broken the links off, but they're still all like stuck to each other.
Yeah, I'll go through and attack in between them.
Yeah, absolutely. And after a matter of probably 2 minutes or less, you've made very short work of this chain, broken everything apart, and you guys point because you said west, but as a reminder, the dome is catching all of the illusionary dome like catches all the smoke, and it like billows up against the sides and it blocks out a bunch of the light. Like it's really like you can't even see the mountains from where you are, and so you have to like point in the general direction that you guys remember coming from. And because you're still in that 7th layer and you're all the way on the outside, it's not that hard to get lost. So you're still able to accurately depict that. But full disclosure, as you guys make your way in, you may need survival checks to find your way around. But they all thank you once again, and like make off towards the dome, and you guys are left with Then. He's like holding his side where he's got this like wound, which the mini mouth thing got from him.
Echo is gonna go over and do a cure light wounds on him.
Cool. Roll your healing. I'm sure you'll heal him all the way. You don't even have to do real well to heal him all the way.
Gonna be an 8.
Yeah. He is 100% back to his normal self. as you use your magic. Which reminds us what that looks like again.
I feel like in this case, it's one of those things of like, Echo maybe has a little bit of her blood on her, and if not, maybe she like nicks her hand and kind of like squeezes the blood like into the wound. And if you kind of look at her blood, it's more like, have you ever stepped on a bug and like how their blood is like a lot more like a thicker, like blackish kind of color?
Yeah, brackish, viscous.
Yeah, as you see, it kind of gets squeezed into the wound, and it like begins to sizzle and sear as the wounds begin to like shut close.
And he kind of like instinctively before he realizes that like it's a good kind of sizzling, and they heal up, and you notice as he like pulls up his tunic to look at them that the wounds that are healing are layered on top of past scars from his lifetime that he's collected, and there are many of them. And he thanks you, and it's just another one to add to the collection.
Echo nods her head, and she says, "Scars are good." And she's just gonna kind of look over at Max.
And he winks and says, "Scars mean you lived."
They're trophies.
Scars mean you don't get dates.
Did you just say scar means you get babes?
Scars means you don't get dates.
Oh, don't get dates. And Echo, like, did Max say that out loud?
Yeah, no, he said that.
Okay, I think Echo's gonna look at you, and it's like, who would date or whatever this is, or with someone who does not have scars? That would be like being with a child. It is wrong.
Aren't you a child?
No, Echo isn't. No, she's an adult.
I thought you were like 12 or something.
No, Pepper's not fully grown, I think is what you're
Yeah,
thinking of.
Pepper's still kind of in her, like, I think if we were to say Pepper's human age roughly would be like 13, 14. She's still like a prepubescent or in the middle of puberty. Echo's like early 20s. I don't think Dave would let me play a 12-year-old.
Nope, can't put children in danger in my game. I do have some limits. It's a gritty, realistic game, but why create situations in fantasy scenarios when we have all of the other fantasy scenarios to work with?
I mean, I think that would depend on the species that you're playing, though, because sometimes their life expectancy is only like 30 years.
Oh, no,
so
you can for sure play a 14-year-old orc, but that 14-year-old orc is like culturally treated as an adult, and not only is he treated as an adult within his own culture, like it is accepted by like all, with role play here and there, but like he would come across, like a 14-year-old orc would come across as an adult to everyone, because they just like, and same thing with goblins. I think goblins mature at like 7 or 8 or something because their entire life expectancy is like 15 years.
30.
So
it's kind of like Bink, because Bink's like life expectancy was like 40 years, and she I think was literally 12. So like she was like in her mid-20s basically.
Right, like you could play someone who was under 18 as long as they were playing in dog years and were representatively older, basically, kind of thing.
Yeah, Dave is not going to let us pull an avatar where it's like,
the number
65.
doesn't matter to me. It's the whether or not they're considered an adult by themselves and those around them is what matters to me. Yeah. So
it's
that's all I was pointing out. I was just being a shithead.
I know, but I am Mr. Semantics, man. Once you get me going, I will define till we get down to the end of it. I try not to get caught up in it because it really slows down my D&D game sometimes. But on that note, you guys are here. I'm gonna move the chain gang, who is no longer a chain gang, off the premises here as they like make their way towards freedom. You guys.
I'm sorry. Gang is funny.
What's that?
Chain gang is funny.
It's like a very old term for
I know, prison, but it sounds like a rap group.
Prison. That's gang, right? But
you never heard of a chain gang before?
The what?
Like a chain
A
gang.
chain gang.
It's like a real thing. It's like a real term.
I know, but
for,
it sounds like a nickname for like a rap group. Like I could see like new hit single from the new group on the scene, the Chain Gang.
chain gang.
Definitely SoundCloud rappers.
SoundCloud
Yeah.
rappers for sure.
They are SoundCloud rappers who basically are like, yeah, I could survive jail. I've been through that life. And they basically were in the jail over the weekend because they accidentally got a drunk driving ticket or something.
Yeah. On this, because we've already derailed. On that note, I've rediscovered White Panda lately, which for those of us who were listening to music in the early 2000s, it's just like they were like doing stuff for a real brief amount of time, from like 2002 to like 2008 or something, just like remixing everything, and it's super sick. Really liked it. But getting back to this, you guys are like standing. Becky, welcome in. It's Jeremy, Andreas, and Jennifer. We are all here. I made this map myself with my own hands. I'm very proud of it. It's a bagels. So you guys have just like rescued your second batch of 5. I want to reiterate, like, this is an entire like metropolis city sized area of ruins, which you only know because you've seen it from the outside and you know the size and scope of it. Once you've crossed into into the smoke and the ash, it's like much more difficult to see, and you can't like really, you wouldn't be able to tell how big it was if you couldn't see it from the outside. And you know, you've been told by Then that, you know, there's a shift change coming up in the next couple of hours, and that was probably an hour or more ago. You guys are here. You got a little bit of new information. You're still in Ring 7. What do you guys want to do for your action?
Just gonna check up with Ben, like how much time he thinks is until the next shift change.
And he shrugs. He says, it wasn't ever up to us. They just told us when we were done. It's not really like we can tell time down here. I could tell you if I kept swinging. I count my picks every day, and it was around like 6,050, somewhere in there is usually when they call break. When you rescued me, I was at 5,030, 320. So, we're getting there.
I was gonna kind of look at Max and it's like, one more.
Let's see. One thing I want to ask is, can I cast a spell while moving?
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think you move it, half speed, and combat rules still apply in combat. But like, if you just want to like cast a spell, I guess it depends on the spell. What are you trying to cast?
Sending.
Yeah, is that a leveled spell or is that a?
It's a level 4 spell.
Oh wow, what does it do?
It's basically what Charaz does to communicate with us. Any entity that you are familiar with, you can send a message to 25 words or less. It takes 10 minutes to cast.
Oh, so it's ritual.
Yes.
Got it. Cool. Rituals traditionally do require you to like be, like a 10-minute casting time would require you to like more or less be in one spot. I will grant it to you if you're moving slowly, and somebody else has to roll the survival check to navigate you guys towards wherever you're going. If you're trying to go somewhere specific, if it's just like you did last time, I want to go to the next pit. I'm going to listen for the next sound of noise I hear. I'm going to go that way. No check required. If you want to go somewhere specific, I'll need a check.
I think if he's doing something ritually, Titus would probably take it upon him to be his little bodyguard as we're moving along.
Okay, sounds great.
Okay. Do we want to go anywhere specific, or are we going to do like last time then?
If Michael says one more, we can try it. We can definitely try one more. I want to ask Ben if he knows where the next one is.
Then says, like, I don't really know my way around this place like you'd think I would. They, it's pretty dark all the time, and they just kind of lead us into, whatever hole is closest, I guess. I don't really know. He says, but yeah, I mean, I'll help you best I can. And he'll, step to the front and start like looking and listening with Echo to try and locate the next spot. The two of them like move slowly for narrative purposes. We'll say that it takes like 7 or 8 minutes before the sound of ringing pickaxes fills the air again, and you guys like have a direction. And then as you guys are kind of heading off in that direction, you have to like walk around a particularly snaky vein of magma, and it takes you an extra amount of time, and it gives you enough time to complete your sending spell. Max, who are you sending to, and what are you telling them?
I am sending this to the eagle that we had met that got in contact with Max.
Okay.
And I am writing the message right now because it is a 25 word limit thing. I'll get the specific wording down, but the basic gist is going to be that prisoners escaping the city, basically help offer them passage or safe passage or flight to Ruinswick. And another thing is going to be like to check shape shifting. Ask who freed them.
Okay. Does your recipient get a response?
No.
Okay. I am going to, in this instance, say that as you send that off and you feel the like link established between yourself and the eagle. Do you remember the eagle's name by chance?
I'm gonna ask to roll for that.
Uh, I will. I will just give it to you. His name is Roz. R-O-Z. Roz. And as you reach your consciousness out to connect with Roz, you remember this interaction you had, this kindness that he showed you, helping you with this scout. Hoping that that'll be enough. And the answer he gave you before like rings in your ears like an echo, as if reverberated out from his subconscious, which is I shall ask the elders. And you have it's not words in your head so much as it is just like an understanding of how your message was received, and that it was in fact received.
Okay. That's it for Max there then.
Okay, sounds good. You guys are like coming up on another one of these pits, but this one in particular, you guys are separated between by one of these snaking rivers of lava, and there's no like obvious way around it. What you know? How are you guys going to proceed from this? Like Then's like looking around here, and he's like these veins are so unpredictable. We could be walking along it for 20 minutes or more before we find a way around.
Uh, like, how many feet would you say across would it be?
Like 15, 20 feet.
15, 20 feet. Okay.
And there's like chunks of semi-hard but obviously very hot magma like floating along the top of it, where it's been like cooled by the sea air, but you can like feel the heat even standing just 10 feet away from the edge of it. Like you can feel how hot it is radiating off, and it's obvious to you guys it's not gonna be pleasant to be on this thing for anything any longer than you need to.
Echo is going to use the spell Tree Shape.
Okay.
And along that area where you're saying, she's going to turn into this like giant kind of log to go across, and let the people walk on her.
Okay, so to clarify, you are turning yourself into a big wooden log and laying yourself across here for your friends to walk over.
Yeah. Basically, I think like the magical thing of it is we just see Echo kind of go there and just begin to like lay down where the beginning of it starts, And just as you see that, her body starts to turn into a wooden log that lengthens across so that they can walk over.
And as she does this, she can feel the heat of this magma, like burning her wooden backside, and her friends can literally see her alight. And as flame like licks the underside of her log self, and this hurts. You take a little bit of damage. I'm not gonna roll it right this second because I want to know what you guys are doing in this instance. First question is: does Echo stay laying across the lava?
Yeah. Can I speak as a tree in just one moment?
Yeah, 100%. I'll give you a mouth still.
Okay. I think it's like, you know what her mask is? Like, you guys can physically see that the mask is fused to the log. And it's just kind of like, you don't see a mouth or anything, but you can hear it talking. And it's like, you know when someone talks while they're clenching their teeth?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's that, as she's like, go now.
Max is gonna go now.
And as you guys, there's no check required as your companion has made themselves a wide enough bridge that that your footing is nearly assured as you guys all make your way across as quickly as possible. Um, Unless anybody doesn't for whatever reason, but I'm kind of assuming everybody does.
No, as soon as Max took off, Titus followed in suit.
Sick, and Then's just sticking as close as he can to Echo, and so as soon as he saw her go down, he would have scampered over probably first. And you guys make it across. Echo takes 5 points of burning damage from like being not even in contact with the lava, just like directly over it and within a foot of it, and hot enough that it was gonna like sear her. But you guys are on the other side of the lake or the river, excuse me, of magma. The sounds of the pickaxe are growing closer, and
Lick hot magma.
like hot magma. And you guys, what
Ooh.
did your DM make 2 separate work pit maps because he thought this might happen? Oh my goodness gracious! So this time, this is the direction you guys are coming in. So I'm going to drop your bag there. As usual, you guys are going to start off of the map. Don't feel like you need to start super close necessarily. But I am, going to say that as you guys make your way through, you're able to identify a couple of things just on like force of habit, right? Because you know to look for it now. You can see the bat darting overhead, and you can see the like shadowy figures floating around. But this time, and you have to count twice to be sure, it does look like there are 4 humanoids which are wandering instead of just the 3.
I think it's going to be the, we shooting that bat. How you want to do it, Max?
Gets his crossbow ready, and you shoot it. I shoot one of the other guys. You miss it. I take him.
Okay. Rolling.
So, which are we coming in from this corner here?
You guys are coming in, yeah, from where the bag is. And you guys can come on these buildings too, because like I said, they're not full buildings. They're like little half walls. Don't feel like you need to walk between them. If you would, then that's totally fine too. But like as a reminder, they're not like closed houses you don't have access to. They're just like open faced, foundations of melting stone.
A nat 20 the bat.
Nat 20 the bat. I'm not, because you will inherently roll enough damage to slam it. On a nat 20 though, I'm not going to roll the perception checks that I normally roll for the others. I'm going to say on a nat 20, it is such a perfectly timed shot that the bat like flies over the lava and like lands completely out of sight in one of the ruined houses, like 5 or 6 buildings down, just like completely out of the way, and it lands, and makes contact exactly in tune with like one of the swings of the axe, and it looks like, and for the first time, there's nobody like walking around like collecting weapons or fucking moving people around, and you can still hear the low garbled chatter of whatever the many mouthed language is.
Yeah. Okay. Are we in currently sneaky or no?
I don't know. Have you guys rolled in the stealth? Have you guys told me you wanted to be sneaky? Is that something that you have an
Echo is
intention
going.
of?
Yeah, Echo's gonna be sneaky.
Great, go for it. Roll your stealth. Stickity
Okay.
stealth. Because every time you do have a combat, you are going to like switch up.
Yeah.
My stealth is dog shit, but we'll try.
Oh, here we go. I have a regular size
Oh my
bat too.
god. I got another
Oh, you got
nat
a bat miniature.
Wow, Jeremy. I guess, welcome back to the game, is what I have to say about that. That's absolutely wild.
It's
What
You
a
got a nat 20 on the stealth roll.
Whoop, whoop.
nat 20 becomes a 15.
That is hysterical.
15 plus 18.
15 plus 18, 33.
16 plus 18.
34.
34 then for Echo.
Max?
4.
Love it.
Oh.
Titus got a nat 20. And I got a roll for Thed.
Is it okay if before we start combat I take the pooch out?
Yeah, let's take our break now. It's 8:30. We usually do a break at 8:30 anyway. I'm going to be sitting here doing some stuff, so usually we call it 10 minutes. Let's call it maybe closer to 15. It's 8:30. Let's say by 8:45 we'll be back to it because I'm going to be sitting here doing some combat prep for just a minute. So
Cool.
It's called 8:45. We'll come back.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Cool. We will be back, Becky. Hey, actually, you know what, Becky? It's probably honestly just you and Jeremy, isn't it? I don't need to drop string right now. It's fine. I'll drop it in a minute. Okay, you guys got that. We got 4. Then, you know what? Then didn't do too bad. Then did not do the worst out of you guys. So, there's that. So then I've got to find these fucking figures, man. What am I going to do here? Where were they? They were in the miscellaneous file, I think. Right? Becky, you there? How you been? My paladin in half plate has a better modifier. Yeah, we've got one of those. We got a paladin who really has a tough time with everything he does. Honestly, it's very tough for him. We shun him whenever people are trying to be quiet. We're like, you stay in the back. I can give you my update. Your girl got COVID last week, and it fucking sucked. Was that your first round? Did you manage to make it all this time and not catch it at all? Because I feel like I didn't hear about this up until this point. My condolences, by the way. Either way.
I was gonna say, Becky, how are you doing with that?
Because I know your immune system is not great. So. Yep.
Dang, Becky, it was at a Fall Out Boy concert.
Oh yeah, concerts are gonna yeah for sure.
I want to say me and Andreas have never gotten it so far.
No.
We have been hella lucky. Now, Becky, the question, was it worth the concert, though? Was the concert good, at least?
Yep, first time ever. Was a follow-up concert really good. Quarantine because I have. Oh yeah, yeah. Yep, yep, yep. And Castle's here? Oh my goodness gracious. Look at everybody showing up. After everything that's already happened, and yes, concert was hella worth it. Good. I'm glad that if you're gonna be forced to hang out with Miss Rona, you should at least be forced to hang out with her somewhere fun, like a concert. So that's great. Welcome in, Castle. I apologize for the timing. We are at our break. I was literally about to get up and throw up the "Be Right Back" screen. Um, but we are. It's 8:35. We're coming back at 8:45 in just about 10 minutes. So we'll be back. We'll be back then. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Tony didn't join since I saw Jeremy was on tabletop. Total not. I double checked. I have all my alerts going out just like they're supposed to be. So in theory, when I go live, it like bloops out to everybody. But I don't. I don't know about all that. So I'm just glad you're here, Castle. I'm glad that you saw Jeremy was on tabletop and decided to drop in. That makes me happy. I saw his Discord saw his Discord status. Yeah, well, he's a popular man. He's got a lot of friends. He likes to hang out with us on Fridays. Uh, uh, Thanks for being here. You're the best. I gotta go refill my water and like take care of myself. But I will be back and we'll see you in like 10.
He knows your guys we're talking about him because
All right.
he's sitting at
I am live. Here we are. Sound check. Somebody say something.
booty
Hello.
butt cheek.
Good, great. Hello, booty butt cheeks. Castle. Oh, you're talking to Jeremy. I see.
Everywhere.
Welcome in.
Booty
Glad you're here.
booty rocking everywhere.
Rocking everywhere. Rocking everywhere. The combined speaking. So we are getting ready to fucking go. You guys have like got a rhythm down. You know what's going on here. You've like expertly dispatched the fucking bat. It's not even on this map anymore. It like flew hundreds of feet off in another direction and like disappeared. But as you've gotten closer, there appear to be two of the like many-mouthed creatures, as well as two of the face ones. There's nobody in the pit, but everybody's like kind of standing around it. And this time you can see that they're all like laughing and they're like throwing very hot rocks from like right over next to the magma. And they're just like chucking these like steaming hot rocks at the at the workers down there who you can't see from where you're at, but you can hear them working and screaming in pain as they're getting struck occasionally by one of these flaming hot stones. But they're like very they're very distracted with that process and like haven't even noticed their bat is gone.
I feel like that is hubris, where it's like you're being such an asshole, like karma's coming to bite you in the ass. Not only are you enslaving these people and forcing them into a work death camp situation, but you are throwing
Battery low.
at them, which is unnecessary.
Yeah, that's not great. Karma's gonna get. Apparently, my headset battery is low too. It just yelled at me, so I want to like nip this in the bud. Give me just a second, guys. I'm going to switch into wired mode so that I don't like lose my headset at a critical moment. Give me just a second. This guy has a low battery. My headset is bad news bears. No, is it not working? No. No, yeah, I'm here. You guys can hear me, yeah? Okay, great. And my mic is picking it up. Say something else, you guys? My desktop is not picking you guys up, though. Hold on, give me a second. Properties. We gotta go to the Corsair headset. All right, now try it again, guys. Say something.
Karma, bitches.
Karma, bitches. There it is. We got everybody here. I'm in wired mode. Everybody's here. Andreas is in here now. Wow, you guys. Look at this. We're all here. Thank you guys for being here. I love this. This is great. This is amazing. Okay, so you guys have like expertly dispatched this bat. These guys are waiting for their karmic retribution, which I'm sure you guys will be more than happy to deliver. As of now, you guys are unseen, but it's like pretty obvious to you guys that Max is having a tough time and Then is doing better, but not necessarily as great as the rest of you. What do you guys want to do?
Oh, I don't know you personally, but thank you for the support.
Max over to Fen is like hanging back behind me. I don't think you're gonna do much.
I think Titus is pretty bolstered after that last round of fighting, so he's just gonna charge headlong.
Before he charges, Max gives him another sanctuary.
Okay, great. I didn't actually put Fen on the board. Excuse me. Fen, remembering that last time, Max was like, "Get out of there, man." He's gonna kind of like look to Max for direction here as Titus like starts out towards the enemies. Oh, Nightbot gets a little overzealous, Castle. I'm sure it was not anything crazy. Nightbot just gets real overprotective sometimes. Apologies.
Just kinda
Whose
hang
character
back
name were you
here.
asking about, Maddie?
And I'm sorry, I'm still waiting on Max to. He's like making eye contact with Then. Then he'll just straight up address you. He'll say, you know, I don't know how much good I'll do back here with you guys. I think I belong up there with Titus.
Tell you what, you can be my personal bodyguard. I don't really do well for not taking hits.
And he says, I.
Be my meat shield.
And he saw that Titus was like performing that duty just a moment ago, and so that's kind of like a natural extension for Then to just kind of like fall into that role and to just kind of step in where Titus stepped out and continue to protect the president formation around Max. So that sounds great to me.
Yo, am I
Let's.
about to get a groupie?
What's up now?
Am I about to get a groupie?
I mean, you kind of already do have a groupie, or at least like your group has a groupie for sure, 100%.
She's a groupie.
Yeah.
Mm-mm-mm.
Ben is staying with Max, though, right? Like, he's gonna become the new bodyguard.
In this battle, like in response to this comment from Max, absolutely.
Yeah.
His role is super flexible though.
With Max saying that comment, though, of like, I'm not really good at getting hit, you know, that kind of thing, I think Echo is going to nod and it's just gonna look at Ben and it's like, his skin is weak like babies.
Skin is like babies. Love it. And with that comment ringing in the air, Titus has made his way out. He rolled a super killer stealth roll though.
Oh, I totally forgot that I stealthed.
Yeah, you stealthed.
Charge complete.
With a nat. God damn it! If it says charge complete, then why did it say battery low a second ago? How is that possible? That the charge is complete? Hold on. Okay, I'm back. We're live. My headset works this time. I really hope. It said it had a low battery, and then I plugged it in for like 30 seconds, and then it said battery full, and I don't want it to yell at me while I'm on stream. It's very jarring. Um, I'm just like in the middle of a dialogue, and it's like battery low, and she's like, she's a nice lady, you know. It's not like super assertive. It's just loud, and it's right in my ear, you know. Battery low. It's just oh my god, I can't. All right.
Battery low.
I know, right, Megan? That was the fastest charge in history. I don't understand. Okay, but on your nat 20, Titus, I did, in my craziness, manage to roll the dice for at least one of these guys. Basically, unless any of them roll a nat 20, though, which none of them did. So far, so good. You are undetected. Your like compatriots are hanging out pretty far behind.
Remember, my nat 20 became a 15. I don't know if we need to take that into
I,
consideration or not.
I even with me taking that into consideration, these guys have a very low perception rolls across the board.
The other thing is, I did forget I was stealthing, so I did dash. I don't know if that's going to negate the stealth or not.
No, it won't. It won't because we're talking like 6 seconds at a time. So really, you guys can just keep moving. We'll just say that it was two movements in stealth rather than one movement out of stealth kind of thing.
Yep.
And with this, I think that you're going to be able to get toe to toe with this guy and take a sneak attack on him if that's what you want to do next, Titus.
Is anybody else going to move, or is it just me?
Max is probably gonna get himself up to here in the building.
Okay, great.
Yeah, same. I will say this though, this is fully 100% karma because not only Titus, our worst sneaker, was able to is about to full on sneak attack someone, and if that is not karma, I do not know what else is.
Oh, don't worry. When I get right up behind him, I'm gonna roll like a 3 on the dice to hit him.
Jeremy, I hope you don't, because consistently when you roll bad, it doesn't stop.
He's
For
a
real, though.
what do you call it? He's could be flat-footed though because of your stealth roll. So in theory,
There's that.
I mean, so flat-footed doesn't mean a whole lot all the time because my flat-footed AC is still 18.
What's your normal AC?
What's my what?
What's your normal AC?
18.
Goddamn.
Yeah, I want to say it's with Dex characters that you're flat-footed doesn't matter or
Oh.
doesn't change. Low Dex characters.
Yeah, because I'm definitely. I've got a +1 to Dex. I don't know. I'm beefy. So yeah, I'm gonna walk up right on him and I'm gonna try to smack him.
cool. You can go ahead and give him a attack roll. It'll be against his flat-footed AC, and if you land it, you get a bonus D6. So go ahead and roll that shit.
Yo, I fucking called it. That's a 2 on the dice for a 15 to hit.
For a 15 to hit, what is this guy's flat-foot AC? Is the big
no.
question. 15 is enough to hit a flat-footed, many-faced man, many-mouth Mary. Go ahead and roll your damage die plus your bonus D6 for me, please, sire.
Okay, so this first one is Many Mouth Mary. The other one is Manny Mouths.
Manny mouths.
We gotta figure out more names.
Okay, so plus D12 plus 8. And then
There's
you said
Mortimer.
I add an additional 6?
You add initial D6. You roll a D6 and add whatever it comes up as.
Oh, just the D6? I'm not doing my axis damage?
You're also doing your axis damage, yeah. The D6 is just
Yeah.
bonus on top of whatever.
We got a 1.
Big stealth attack, yep.
And
Nice.
not bad. So 20 points of slashing.
Yeah,
damage.
what would be your max damage outside of crit? Because the one compensated for the 11 there. 20 points will immediately bloody many mouth here.
So I do have 2 attacks. Unsure if I can use both during a surprise round or not.
I will say in this instance. Yeah, I'll give you a second attack.
Yeah, I'm a whirly dervish of death.
He's alert now though, so you're up against his full AC.
That's fine. That's a 26 to hit.
Ooh, yeah, that's still gonna hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, another nickname for these guys could be Multiple Gob Gary. Many Gob and Gary.
Oh, 12 slashing damage.
12 additional slashing damage will bring this guy down to his down to death's door instantly. He will cry out in pain and initially the other ones laugh because they think it's somebody like down in the pit. And then it starts like cursing and spitting, and they like turn and see the rest of you guys, see Titus, and are like, ah, shit, and they all like start rushing towards you. Let's roll our initiative rolls. I got to roll for Thin, and I got to roll for the baddies. That did not do so great.
Echoes is going to be an 18.
11 for Max.
11 for Max.
19.
19 for Titus. Okay, all right. All right, so then starting us off is still Titus, just like last time around. You're right here next to this very badly wounded Many Mouth. You're close enough to the pit now to see inside and see that there's, another group of 5 guys all chained together down there. What do you want to do with your turn?
That's gonna be a 32 to hit.
That is gonna hit. That was a 19, I'm guessing.
19 on the dice.
Yeah.
Fuck. Okay. And +8 is 17 slashing damage.
17 slashing damage. He's gone. He is done from this world. Where, and how would you like his body to go?
30. Yeah, I'd like to sort of get him in like in the side, and like whatever the mini mouth equivalent of an oblique is, and just sort of like twist the axe a little bit to lock him in there, and then spin around and launch him at this guy.
Sounds good. We are looking at flavor this time around. Wait, no. Is that your first attack or your second attack?
That was my first attack, so
Great.
I have one
Then
more.
then give it then give it a go. -4.
Oh, come on, you fucker. Where'd you go? Yeah. Really?
Here, I'll upsize you.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
You got it.
18.
18.
Oh, no, sorry. 14. 14. I forgot to subtract it.
Oh, no, you're right, because it is a. These guys have a super low AC. That is still gonna hit. Go ahead and roll me 2d6 this time around.
1, 2.
And then
Plus
add
my
whatever,
modifier? Or no?
yeah, add whatever your modifier is.
18.
That's 18.
18 damage.
Absolutely,
Mundane bludgeoning damage.
absolutely, just blows the fuck out of this guy too. Just like fucking propels him backwards. Does whatever you like. He is also dead.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Titus is feeling real good now.
Yeah, he's starting to come back into his own. He's starting to feel like himself
He's
again.
definitely returning to form.
Love it. Then we are down to Echo with bad guys on deck and Max after them.
I think Echo is actually going to, let me see, my map, see if I can make it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Would I be able to make it and then jump off the ledge?
Yeah, 100%. I just need an acrobatics roll from you as you jump off the ledge.
Okay, so acrobatics is one of my decent skills.
Yeah, you're Miss Dex, so you'd think.
X, yeah. What's 18 plus 15, Andres?
A lot.
33, 32.
33.
33.
Yeah. So where do you want to land?
Like right by these people, just like.
Like if you want to be next to him, you got to be in this one.
Yeah, like that one.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great. Perfect. One movement, successful jump, no damage. You land down there. There's nobody down there. Again, they all scream. You know, they're not used to people fucking catapulting down here, and it's all. I know to you guys this is the third pit, but to them, you're the first people ever to jump in their fucking pit, and so they all seem quite startled.
I'm assuming all people, like humans.
All humanoids. There's a dwarf in this lot, as well as a halfling, but no orcs.
Okay. Is she able to do like an attack or like a skill thing to try to like break the chain? Can she get a movement?
Absolutely. You can just like take an attack with your bow at the chain and see how much like damage you can do to it.
Okay.
Are you aiming for like a specific point on the chain? Because as a reminder, it's anchored on the what would be north and south sides.
Whichever. I got a nat 20 on that, so.
Then as I gave Titus with his nat 20, you guys are like crazy hot tonight.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. We're gonna hit such a low point.
This is so wild, and like this is not meant to be like super intensive, or it's like it's as intensive as you want. Like these are just like the pits, like these are nothing special, guys, and you guys are just absolutely fucking like killing it freeing these guys. So I'm gonna say that Echo just like fires at both the end. She like fires the north end, ding, like breaks that ring, fires the south end, ding, like breaks that ring, and these guys like as a chain of 5 are now loose, still tied to each other, but no longer connected to the ends of this pit anymore.
I think Echo's gonna look at them and it's like, stay put while we battle, and then that's gonna be it for her.
And they all like kind of like huddle together, all in the like opposite side of the cave from where they sense all the action to be. I'm just going to give them a quick little movement here as they just like cower together, basically. Anything else you would like to do? Say, look for.
I guess Echo, like, if she can, will probably like pull up the picture to just show him, but like, I think that would go into her next turn. Like, she'd be pulling it out now, but
Yeah.
wouldn't ask next
Yeah,
turn.
and you told them to stay put, and they're like I said, cowering right now. So
Yeah.
they're not paying a ton of attention anyway.
Yeet.
Then we are gonna go to the bad guys. We got a real easy one here. A couple of attacks out of this little faceless guy at our buddy Titus.
We'll save on the. We'll save on the.
They're going to. I'll keep those rolls as their attacks. We're going to roll a will save first. He actually does make that save. 17 on the die, plus a positive modifier. So, but the highest of those two rolls was not super high. It was literally a 16 was the highest.
Negative Ghost Rider.
Yeah, so then neither one of those strikes are going to hit as he's like clawing at you, Titus. But your armor does its job, and though you feel like the impact of the claws and its fangs against you, or I guess it doesn't have fangs, it doesn't have a face. Its claws against you, you can rest easy knowing that the blacksmith has earned his keep this night. The other dude, the faceless guy. He is going to do this thing that I forgot he can do.
I mean, you don't need to remember. That's fine. You can just not do the thing.
Yeah, let's see here. I need. He starts like the many mouths he have. I would say start singing, but singing is like the opposite term. It's like
Don't like that.
totally discordant, like wailing. In the same way that an angelic harmony is absolutely pitch perfect, it's like the complete opposite. Like, even if notes are so out of tune, at some point they start becoming back in tune again because it just like drops a whole step. Like, it's exactly those in between spots where it sounds the worst. It's like absolute
It's a
fucking.
bar during karaoke night, like at 1:30, right before the bar closes.
Yeah, real bad. So I do need Titus and Echo to both make will saves for me, please.
Okay.
I don't. What the fuck? Oh, god damn it.
Okay. Hold on.
Okay, yeah.
This
hold
is
on.
gonna be where we both get our asses bit for rolling nat 20s.
Tabletop Simulator just crashed on me. Give me a second.
If you got a home die, you can roll that real quick just to keep us going.
Dave, could you make this bigger?
You got it.
It keeps getting stuck.
Oh, that's the wrong way.
Once it gets stuck like 4 or 5 times in a row, that's when I'm like, no.
Yeah, I really. Oh, womp womp. I
told you. Yeah, I got a 7 in total, but yeah.
You said a will save?
Yes, please.
I bet it's.
Okay, let me see. Okay, tabletop is not finished loading yet. +1. I got 11.
On an 11 and a 7, you guys both feel yourselves just like completely overwhelmed by.
Damn, I was just getting my groove back. Stella just got his groove back.
By like all of this, like noise going on here, and you, you basically are locked in place here. You can try a save at the at the end of your next turn, but basically you're locked down for a turn here.
Locked as in down for movement, or can we still do like ranged attacks?
No, you guys are like completely immobilized by this thing until a certain number of rounds passes or you save, whichever comes first.
Okay.
You guys are basically in Titus's position when he was like getting pummeled by the goblin thing or whatever was going on there, and he was like having a tough time. Like, hopefully you guys will not have that tough of a time here. But it
When I was
is,
making it rolls for 4 months straight.
yeah, it
Yeah.
is a similar deal. So on that note, we are flipping over to. Let me see here. Echo to Matt. No, to.
I will just say I just realized mine and Jeremy's rolls combined to create 7-Eleven.
Yeah, and give me just a second, guys. I'm hearing a lot of like craziness going on outside. I bet it's just like Soto forgetting that I'm streaming and like wanting to come over and say hi, but I'm not sure. Give me a second.
Sounds good.
Damn it, Soto, you son of a bitch.
Gonna say Otis. What happened?
I am live again. That was my buddy Soto. He lives. We like share a lot. He's literally my next door neighbor. He comes over all the time, just like see me and stuff. He doesn't need a knock. He just like comes in, and my front door is right there. And so he like cracked the door open, saw that I was streaming, and was like, "Ah, shit," and left. But my dogs freaked out, and like Eva was freaking out because the dogs were freaking out. And like I went out there, and he's like on his own back porch. He was like on his own back porch, like smoking a cigar. And he's just like, "Hey man, what's going on?" I'm streaming. He's like, "Oh yeah. I guess I knew that." And I was like, "Hey man, what's up?" He's like, I'm just trying to smoke a share. I wanted to know if you want to share a cigar, man." I'm like, "No, we're cool, thanks. I'm streaming." He's like, "All right, well, let me know." I'm like, "Okay, man."
What a shithead.
So super funny, and it's
We
funny
were-
because he's like one of my best viewers. He's like one of my longest subscribed guys. He's like gifted subscription tiers and shit like that. So he's like pretty involved in the stream in general, and he just like forgot that this is what we're doing tonight. Okay, Matt, I'm so sorry about all of that. I believe that Max is up next after the baddies.
Uh-huh.
What are you doing, bud?
So, Max, seeing all this, he was getting ready to use one of his fire arrows and stuff, and then, that thing lets out that terrible musical thing he's heard way better. And he's gonna be like, "Ah, shit, man," and he's gonna cast Dispel Magic on Titus.
Ooh, does that work?
What his spell? What?
Dispel
Dispel magic.
Oh, interesting. Okay, all right.
Because
That
I don't think it would work because technically it wasn't a spell. It was like a natural effect.
Okay, I guess what I have to
Would be
know
my
if it
guess.
would work.
I mean, it's a what spell slot is that? Is how big of a spell is that?
Third level.
Yeah, man. For a third level spell,
Yeah.
if you want to use, I will rule in this instance that you can use it as especially in line with your class. I would say that is like a reasonable expectation that you would have training to counter not only special specifically magic effects, but you would also have some training in countering, spell-like abilities from strange creatures through in and throughout. So absolutely, it still works the same way though. It's still you still have to pass a DC higher than 10 plus the spell level, which is what it would be. I know the equivalent spell level for this, so the DC is 13 for this one, and so you are rolling a d20 and adding your
caster level.
caster level.
And just to double check, caster level would be 4. I always forget how to.
No,
do
caster level would be like the level that you are. So you guys are level 7 now, so 7.
Okay, so I need to be a. Okay, let's roll.
Oh, quick question.
Yeah.
Am I good to take Otis to the bathroom? He got to go. Like, I'm not up next.
No, you're locked down. You're going to need a dice roll to see if you can go next turn, but either way, you're not going this turn. So I'd say now's a great time.
Okay, thank you.
Ooh, 10 plus 7, 17.
17 absolutely counteracts the effect, and Titus feels the ringing. He was like it feels like these sounds were like scratching at his eardrums, and this noise was inside his head, and this resonance finally stops like shaking the inside of his dome, and the vibrating quits, and he is able to regain his composure once more, and looks up and can see that Max is the reason for that.
So just to describe it, that discordant ringing and vibrating, and then you just hear kind of like a gong, and just like your ears popping, it's just gone.
Nice, love that.
But that's gonna be it for Max.
Okay, great. Then it's Then, who's going to stay and ready in action to attack anybody who comes close. And then it is the civilians' turn, who are going to continue to cower. So then we're back up at the top with Titus, who can now move freely. He's got a faceless man in his face.
Hell yeah, I'm about to take that motherfucker's face right off. Move over.
Give it a go. They've got a very low AC. They're not meant to be the meat of this fight. They're just kind of
17 to hit?
They're just kind of like bullies. They just bully these non-magical humans that have no other abilities.
17
Yeah,
to hit?
17 for sure hits. Yes.
Sick with it. What do we got? 10 magical slashing damage.
10 magical slashing damage is close enough that I have to roll for the hit points for this specific guy. Yeah, he's dead.
Cool. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna lodge him in the axe, swing around, and throw him at Minnie.
You're I love because this is all 6 seconds apart. So really, what you're doing is you cleaved into the first guy, finished him off, launched him, moved to engage, finished that guy off, launched him. So go ahead and take your -4 attack.
23 to hit.
That hits. So, in this instance, your 2d6 plus your modifier.
5, 6 plus 8 is 14.
14 damage is enough to wound Bloody Mouth. It's enough to wound Bloody Mouth.
And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'll get in between the rest of the pit and him.
Okay, great.
So I I run over, I kill one dude, launch him at another dude, run up on him. That dude tries to attack me, he misses. I kill him, launch him at another dude, and then as soon as he gets hit, I just show up in front of him.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a chance to clear. By the time he clears the corpse out of the way, you're standing in the space the corpse was in.
I feel like Titus's official move is throwing bodies at other people, kind of like how Mary's was stabbing people in the axe.
I mean, like, I don't hate it. Like, I don't know why I never thought of it before. I think this is kind of fun.
Yeah,
It's
this is
gonna
great, and and the damage has ended up being comparable. Because full disclosure, if you want to throw somebody more than like 20 or 30 feet, like I'm gonna ask for a separate strength check to like make sure you can
That's
clear that distance.
that's
But like
fine.
as you're just like swinging these guys like 20 feet, I'm like, if you fell 20 feet, that'd be 2d6 of bludgeoning damage. This is just a horizontal version of that. So, plus the additional force of being propelled. So, fuck it, add a strength
Yeah,
modifier,
because
right? Like, that makes
I've got
sense.
I've got a 20 strength, so I'm pretty strong.
Right. And so it's like, yeah, man, unless you add that strength modifier, you're flinging these dudes. That's fine. You know, and with this 20, with a strength modifier of 20, I probably won't even check until you're trying to fling somebody like 30 or 40 feet or more. Like, honestly, like, probably, if you were like, I want to hit that guy 50 feet away, I'd be like, all right, give me a check. But if you're like, I want to hit that guy 40 feet away, I'd probably just let it happen with a strength check of 20, with a raw strength score of 20. Like, that is fucking high.
If I can actually roll to hit.
That's true. You do still have to hit with a negative modifier. But Echo is up. There's only one mini mouth standing. You are still in stealth, if I remember correct. Oh no, you're not, because you jumped down and like
Yeah.
freed all these guys. But you're down here with this like poster drawing of your dad, with these guys cowering. What are you doing on your turn?
Did the ringing stop?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. The ringing did not stop. You need to roll me another will save, please,
Okay.
to try and shake this effect.
That's gonna be a dirty 20.
A dirty 20 is going to shake it off for your next turn. I don't honestly think that you were going to get that far. But you spend your entire duration, this whole 6 seconds, like regaining composure of yourself. And you do end that 6 seconds with composure. So if you have some dialogue, you can,
Yeah.
speak it. But otherwise, your turn is forfeit due to losing the last will save.
Yeah, I think it's just gonna be like, do you recognize this man kind of thing as she's holding the drawing out.
And most of these guys aren't even looking at you, and the one or two that do are like, I don't know, I've never been on a line with a chain gang with an orc before, and that's basically the quick response that you get out of them. Does bring us to the baddies, or baddie singular at this point. He's going to lash out at Mr. Titus. Now, is he still have sanctuary, or is that like a time thing, or is that like a?
It's 7 rounds.
We have not gone 7 rounds yet, so I'm going to do this in the right order. We're going to start with a will save. Which he hits as on a 15 on the nose on the dice plus his modifier. So he is going to give 2 strikes. Oh my goodness. You guys are not the only one rolling hot tonight. That is a natural 20 and a natural 19, both of which I do believe are going to strike. So we are going to, for the first time, see what these guys are capable of. You got to give me just a minute here as I get my shit together. So that is plus his modifier twice. There it is. So that's 24 damage of slashing damage, and then he is going to attempt a grapple in the process as he's like landing these attacks, and these tendrils are coming out and like striking at you. That is a dirty 20 against your CMD to grapple, Titus.
He said he's getting a drink right now.
He sent me his character sheet, so I can determine whether or not that hit. All by myself.
Don't wanna be.
All by myself. CMD is 23 against grapple. So that does. So he's not stuck in place, but he does take that 23. Did I say 23 damage? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna make a little note here. So let him know when he comes back. 23 damage.
I got for this.
Okay, so you got hit for 23 damage. He attempted to grapple as part of that attack, which he did not land. So he tried to like wrap you up, also Titus, but was unable to. But he did get you for 23 big slashing damage, piercing and slashing damage. But then we are back to Mr. Max.
Mr. Maxey.
If I took a shot at him, would I have to worry about hitting Titus?
I can go for it. I'm fine.
I was about to say, I'll rule in this instance you can yell at Titus to duck and manage to coordinate that.
If
All right.
you'll allow, I'll use my reaction to actually duck.
Perfect. That's a great deal because this guy's not going anywhere. You're not going to need to use an attack of opportunity or anything. So that's great. Love that.
What's it called? Yeah, Max just yells out like after Titus getting pummeled a bit, is like, Doc, I'm about to shoot, and he loads a firebolt on there, and he is gonna take a shot at him. So that's gonna be let's get that attack roll in.
We're getting fancy.
So yeah, I'm only rolling a flat d8 for standard bolts. I need to do something else.
You're like, I need some oompa.
Yeah. 22 to hit.
22 to hit hits.
All right, so let's see. I believe it's a d8 and a d6 for the fire damage. Yeah. Okay. D8. Oh yeah, seven normal bolt damage.
And
Nice, max, and 6 fire damage for a total of 13 damage.
excellent. On a total of 13 damage, that does bring him to the bloodied condition as he drops below half of his hit points. And
All that's left is blocked in its prime, right?
Yep, that's it.
That's a good name for him.
And anything else you want to do with your turn, Max?
No.
Then is going to look to you and say, "Do you still need protection? I think I might be able to get a blow in before he's done for."
Sure, why not? I'll watch your back.
And he's gonna basically take his whole turn to like get within striking distance, but he's still not quite there. And that is it for Then. We are back at the top with Titus, who will likely finish this off for us.
First off, I'd like to make a free action to express my condolences to the Bennett family because Tony Bennett passed, and Tony Bennett's a San Francisco legend.
Okay. All right. There we go.
That's it. I like Tony Bennett.
That's fair.
Yeah, I'm going to attack him.
Cool. Give him an attack. You got two of them. There's no other enemies, so you might as well take them both. Because you can't fling them at anybody. There's nobody else here.
I can't believe this is how I found out Tony Bennett died, Jeremy.
Oh, really?
is playing D&D?
Yeah.
You're welcome. That's a 29 to hit.
That hits all day long.
So I'm going to go ahead and roll my damage.
I thought you were making a joke there for a second, like, oh yeah, rest in peace, like calling him Tony Bennett, and then you were like, because I actually like Tony Bennett and he just died today, and I was like, no, he didn't.
Yeah, no, he died on Friday. That's 11 points of damage.
11 points of damage. We'll bring him to death's door. You will need to attack him one more time if you want to try and finish him off.
One more hit. Oh, I thought that was a 1. 15.
7s and 1s. Oh, a 15 might actually not hit him. No, a 15 does not beat his AC. So as you're like going to town on this dude, the last one he does like catch in his teeth, and you feel your blades like slide off as they land against bone instead of cutting flesh. And your last blow is only a glancing one and does no damage.
This game is rigged.
This game, after rolling 3 nat 20s in a session, this game is rigged. I didn't hit one attack. This game is rigged.
It's still rigged. I'm just not going to call it out.
All right,
That's all I
Echo, you have regained your composure. These guys are still cowering down here. They, have not given you anything immediately useful. How do you want to spend your turn?
I feel like because Titus is the only one that we know who speaks Orcish. He probably just hears like, the Orcish equivalent of just like motherfucker, because like it's no one knows who this man is, and she's just gonna turn and she's gonna take a shot at Optimus Prime.
Cool. Sounds great. If I recall correctly, you also have 2 shots, yes?
Yes, I'm gonna take 2 shots at Optimus Prime.
I'm about to say, there ain't nobody else here, so you might as well just go for it.
Okay,
I'm
first
at-
one, is he within? I don't think he's within 30 feet, is he?
5, not when you count for his height distance, no.
Okay, so that will be a 16 for the first one.
Ooh, just misses. Second one?
Okay. If I miss, I'm gonna be so mad.
Do it.
Okay, come on. Roll, 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 baby, roll, roll, roll. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, sweet baby.
Gonna set this roll on fire.
29.
29 does hit.
Okay. Okay.
Sure, just fucking steal my kill. No big deal.
That's gonna be a total of 10.
Total of 10 is just enough to finish this guy off. As you are firing your arrows, what's happening?
Okay, my question is, for the purpose of this, does he look like a blob?
No, he's a humanoid. This is just the closest thing I could get. He's like a regular 2 legs, 2 arms human, but like the arms don't end in hands, they end in like all these weird digits, and each of the digits has like too many nails and eyeballs and noses and shit growing on it. It's
I feel like then with the motherfucker comment, like Titus hears her just yell out like motherfucker in Orcish. Dave, if you want to make an orc noise, go ahead. I
no,
can't
that's
do
okay.
it.
You're fine.
Okay.
Ooga chaka, ooga chaka.
Yeah, ooga chaka, ooga chaka. That's all I got. And before he could even turn to like, recognize that it's Echo shouting that, he just sees like the arrow go through the head, and the force of it just like, I don't know if this guy just did not shapeshift a stable skull or what. It just pops like a grape.
Well, so what I was thinking is my second attack didn't hit because it was stuck in all of his goopiness. So I spent that attack like trying to rip it out of him. So I finally did, and then I go in to swing for the killing blow, and then your arrow just comes out of nowhere and finishes it.
I'm imagining, yeah, and it like the head explodes, and it's like, are you okay if some of the blood gets on you?
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm definitely covered in bullshit.
He's already covered in blood. Yeah.
Totally
I
covered.
think we just called racist.
Oh, did we? I don't even have chat up. I need to.
I can't see because it's like blurry on my end.
Becky, why are we racist?
I think because we went ooga chaka, ooga chaka.
Oh yeah, probably. I mean, it was the first song that I thought of. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
I can't stop this feeling.
Deep inside of me.
There you go. A little context for you. Does that make you feel better, Becky?
We weren't just
We're only humans, okay? The human brain is literally designed to remember music. So, sorry, not sorry.
It wasn't like you said slur.
The orcs.
Girl, you just don't like what you do to me.
Well,
I feel like,
in all fairness, in my world, there aren't too many intellectual orcs. Like, there are a few out there, but they're like a very nomadic people. They're very simple folk. High on the wisdom, not that high on the intelligence, right?
I was gonna say though, but as Titus playing a half orc and Echo raised within orcic culture, I think we can get away with saying ooga chaka, ooga chaka. We get an ooga chaka pass.
Ooga chaka. Circling all the way back, guys. You are now in free action. You guys are becoming absolute pros at like clearing these pits. You cleared another one. There's more of these people. They like wait a moment in the din of things and like realize that
Yeah,
that the
I'll go
action is
down the
set.
ladder
Yeah.
and then I'll go over and break the chains.
Oh,
And
wait, that's
by the time you get there, they're already working on it themselves. But you come through and you just like where they're like continuously hitting the same spot. You're just like cleaving through it in one
With my
strike.
20 stuff or my 20 strength.
Yeah, you're just absolutely just like ripping through this fucking chain. And as they break loose, like, one at a time, you break the first one loose, he makes for the ladder. You break the second one loose, he makes for the ladder. Like, do you guys want to stop these guys or talk to them at all, or are you going to let them go?
I think Echo's gonna stop him because she remembers the fact that we had to walk over her to get past that lava thing, and she's
Okay.
gonna like stop him, and she's gonna look at Max because he's been like our face for this.
And they stop absolutely terrified, and a few seconds go by before one of them finally, musters up the courage to gulp down the lump in his throat and give you a shaky, "Thank you for saving us. Can is there something you need from us, or can we go?"
And you just like see Max, like all of a sudden, he peeks out over the thing with like the orange glow from the lava, and it's like a you know uh, you know there's a lava flow down once you get out. But before we do, just have a couple of questions for you guys. And he's like, he's like Echo, have you asked him about your father?
They have not seen him, and she is like, I feel like the tone you guys has gotten used to with Echo is a bit annoyed always, but in that tone now, there's a bit of like defeatment, like be a defeated tone,
Mm-hmm.
as we've gotten to the third time, and no dad, no daddy, no papa.
Clues, but no, yeah, he hasn't. He hasn't like been in one of the pits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did create a Hero Forge mini for him though, in case we need it.
Okay. Fair enough.
Um, and he's like, you guys have not seen any orcs. Do you guys know anything about the docks?
And most of them shake their head no. You know what? Actually, they all shake their head no. But I want a sense motive check out of you, both of you, Echo and Max.
Okay.
Hell yeah, Max is good.
While they're doing that, after I break the chains, can I come and check this chest?
Yeah, absolutely. Roll me. Yeah, there's a box in each one of these pits that has all the like shit they pulled out of it in that day.
Okay.
So Titus is gonna go check through it. Charisma or survival? Your call, bud. Give me a roll. Is there anything in particular you're looking for? I guess I'll ask before you give me whatever that roll
No,
is.
I think I noticed that there's a chest. We took out some baddies. They're doing some smarter shit. So I'm like, well, I guess I'll look to see what's in here.
Cool.
The
Love it.
mercenary code. Digging through shit.
You said survival or what?
Or charisma modifier.
Survival's gonna be.
Yeah, but usually it's survival. Every once in a while somebody rolls charisma, but usually it's survival. 14?
14, 11 plus 3, 14, yeah.
14. On a 14, again, most of this stuff is just like generic bullshit. Like broken ass stuff. Like, like I've been describing it as like what, because this is basically an archaeological dig. It's like the crap you'd pull out of an archaeological dig, right? Like just like pieces of nothing that like you don't even know what they are until you get a bunch of them put together. And, it's like some things you can tell that like they were tools or cutlery or something at some point in time. But as you're going through this, that mercenary streak in you knows, like, I feel like this is not Titus's first time like quickly going through someone else's belongings looking for the most valuable items. and
Definitely.
and there are a few pieces of like grimy jewelry that are too like dirt and soot caked to like be able to tell what they are. Specifically, they don't have the warm glow of magic jewelry, but but like it's still a pendant and a ring of some kind that you're able to like pick out of this that you know to have some value. And
You said a ring and a pendant.
a ring and a pendant, and they are filthy. You can clean them off at any point in time using whatever means you have. But right now they are
Ring and pendant. Okay. Yeah, I'll make a note for that and deal with it later.
cool. Sick. Um, so I'm sorry. You guys are rolling your sense motives. What was your results?
Echo got a 28.
Max got a 23.
The two of you are able to pick out one of these guys who is like making it a point to avoid eye contact. He's looking really fidgety, and he was like a second or two late when you guys like, you guys don't know anything about the docks, do you? Everybody else shook their head, and he like shook his head, but like after, like in too late of a response, and you believe that this guy may have something to tell you.
Feel like since it's like Echo rolled a little bit higher, I feel like it's like they got the same thing, but she noticed it just a second quicker. And
I'll go so far as to say it's literally the guy right in front of you in the red tunic.
yeah. Oh, Pinky. Echo is just gonna like walk over, and before Max can even stop her, I feel like she's just grabbing his collar and just kind of like pulling him and lifting him up.
And as you're doing this, he's going to start screaming. Everybody else is going to like take a step back, like, "Oh God, what? We didn't tell you what we wanted to do." And they're like looking up, and they're like seeing Max at the top of the ladder, and they are fucking terrified. What are you doing to this guy?
I think Echo's not doing anything to him, but she's like getting him closer to her face as she's lifting him up, and it's just like, you should not lie to the people who helped you.
Give me an intimidation roll with advantage, please, so you can roll twice, take the higher of the two.
Dun 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, 14 for my first one, and then let's see what the next one is. Okay, 14 for the win. So that's going to total out at 1, 2, 3. Total of 19.
And he just says, "I'm sorry, I don't want to go back there." And before he has a chance to finish, Fen calls down from behind Max, like, and he cries out, pretty indignant, pretty like grumpy, "I thought we were here to save prisoners, not intimidate and threaten them."
And we're still saving them. We just also we need information on the best course of action, and this is what we've got.
Echo with like Ben's kind of like attitude comment is like, I value my father's life more than this man's fear. If he does not lie to me, no harm will come to him.
And you can hear this guy like muttering to himself under his breath, like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And you hear a dripping sound, and you look, and you can see urine dripping off of his feet, which are off the ground, like forming a puddle underneath him. The other guys are like backed up against the cave wall, and one of them has started like scampering up one of the piles of rock, trying to get to the ledge, the edge of the like the lip of the pit.
Max, seeing that he's probably gonna go down. He's gonna go down the ladder at this point, and get down there. It's like now we're not here to keep you prisoner. You're welcome to go as you wish. I just ask that you hear us before you head out. Hopefully we get some information that we want to hear, and we'll give you information on the best way out of here.
That's a diplomacy check, please. And you did save them, so go ahead and roll it with advantage. These, they're pretty scared of Echo right now, but they.
I think we're playing good cop, bad cop.
You guys are definitely playing good cop, bad cop right now. Absolutely, that's what's happening here.
I do find it funny that they're scared of her, but like, I don't know how big this guy is. Echo's like 5'2", not if we're not including the horde.
There was a dwarf and a halfling in the group, and this is the halfling.
Oh, okay. Makes a lot more sense.
So
Damn,
I'm
almost
glad for that
2
advantage because the
taller
first
than
roll was
you.
a 2. This is a 16, which turns into a 26.
26. Yeah, on a 26, these guys like kind of relax, and they're still giving Echo like a super wide, berth. They're like going all the way around the cave and like scooting over here, and they're like standing at the base of the ladder with you, um, and they're saying, "Well, would you ask what you want to ask so that we can leave, please?"
And I guess turning towards Echo and like addressing the halfling is like, will you answer her questions if she puts you down?
Oh my God! Yes, don't. It's a yes, but a very strained yes.
I think Echo is gonna look at Max and is like, fine, and just drops him.
And he just like scrabbles backward up against the wall, like on the ground. You know what I mean? Like backwards on his hands and knees until he like has nowhere else to go because he hits the wall, and he's just kind of like backed up there, like looking at you like super wide eyed. Would you like to ask him a question?
It's like, we'll
Who
ask
does
you
number
once.
2 work for?
What'd you say, Jeremy?
It was a shitty Austin Powers quote that didn't mean anything. Go ahead.
Oh God, that's what I thought it was. I was like, are you
Man, what
quoting
a
something?
throwback though to Austin Powers, man. That's
Oh,
a real deep cut right there.
yeah. But basically, Echo's just like, we'll ask you again. What do you know about the dock?
It's like it's on the north side of the city, and it's on the outer ring, and it's really well guarded, and they have a warehouse, and there's people who come and go, and I don't know. I was only over there like once or twice, and I was in the pit most of the time. But I like heard all the voices and the sails in the wind, and oh God, don't kill me!
Maybe. Or
You go first. Yeah, no, you go.
Say basically Max is just like I don't think she's not gonna kill you. Do you can you tell us if you can who what kind of guards, how many, that sort of thing.
And he says, "They're stronger than the bigger with they have the ones who change into animals. They guard over there with the ones with the mouths, and they talk about the hag, and there's
Can I
I,
make a non-lethal unarmed strike to like smack him? Smack, get um,
Smack
snap
some
out
sense
of it,
into him,
man.
like how Echo wanted to do to you.
Kind of, yeah.
yeah, but he's just an NPC. He's not a player with agency, so you can absolutely fucking do that to him. No fucking problem.
Yeah, that's what I mean to like slap some sense into him.
Yeah, but yeah. My
10,
NPCs are just meat. You guys can do whatever you fucking want to them.
let's be unarmed. So an unarmed strike would be a 22.
That's it. Yeah, that hits a commoner civilian every single day of the week.
Feeling bad for this
Honestly,
guy.
if you max out on your damage, you might just straight knock this guy unconscious.
I specifically said non-lethal.
I
I'm just
know,
trying to
but
defend him.
he does not have many hit points. So go ahead and roll your damage,
Well,
non-lethal.
okay, so well,
It's an unarmed
I guess
strike.
it's an unarmed strike, but I am wearing a gauntlet on my hands, so I think that technically adds to my unarmed strike. Um,
If you
but
knock him
Well,
it's
out, I
still
swear
no,
to
it's
God.
still only a D3, but I don't know how to roll a
no,
D3.
we,
Give me a
we
second.
always up those to a D4. We always just up those
D4,
to a
okay.
Yeah.
D4. Yeah.
Pyramid.
We'll call it the glaive upgrade, right? The glove upgrade. Do not kill another NPC. Because you've got
God
quite
damn
the
it.
modifier as well, if I remember, Mr. 20 Strength. That's what, a +5 to all your strikes.
That's why
Sure.
I'm feeling bad for this guy, because like
Fucking
Echo is just intimidating him. She hasn't physically hurt him,
so
and
it's
now
a
he's getting
2
slapped.
with my gauntlet is
There's good cop, bad cop, worse cop.
one hand proper +5, so 7 bludgeoning damage.
7
Oh.
bludgeoning damage. I am gonna roll for his hit points real quick. Give me just a second.
Maybe he's like really like healthy.
Oh, you are so lucky he maxed his fucking die roll. This dude just got slapped within an inch of fucking consciousness. And now he's almost like on the opposite end of the spectrum. Whereas before he was like too amped and like frightened, now he's just kind of like out of it. He's kind of like, what? Where
God damn it.
are we
Nice.
free now? Can we go? Is that?
Max
I feel like with that, Echo is just gonna shout, Titus!
Max is gonna channel positive energy.
Are you gonna try and hit everybody, or I guess that's what channel positive is, rather than laying on hands.
Yeah, I want to say it's let's see, because I want to say just straight channel positive energy is the the sphere.
That's the emanation.
Yeah, I don't know if I have a lay on hands version of that. I think it's I can only do the sphere.
Oh, okay, cool.
But yeah, it's 46. I'm assuming it's gonna even.
That's good. I mean, roll it anyway because your comrades have lost a little bit of health. But yeah, that'll totally heal him up and smooth out his demeanor as he like comes to. He's like. He like looks up. He's like looking really warily at Titus and really warily at Echo, but like it's obvious that Max is there to do some good. So now it's bad cop, good cop, bad cop. And
Get your shit together, man.
but he's prepared to answer your questions. And so he says there are many. He says I never saw really. It's hard to tell. They're just shapes moving, but more than I mean they were big ships, so at least an entire crew. What does it take to man a ship? Like 20 men? More? And that's if there was only one ship in the harbor and I could never see, but I thought I saw multiple sails. They were loading a bunch of us into the ships.
Any rumors as to where those ships were going?
And he shook his head. He says, but the ones that leave never come back.
Echo, you have anything else you want to ask him?
No. I think Echo's just gonna throw like a ration packet at him.
Also for healing, 13 if anyone needs to heal up.
Cool.
Yeah, I took that.
Cool. So 13 healing all around to everybody. And the 4 guys are like growing kind of antsy. They're like, okay, he's the only one who knows anything that you want to know. So can the rest of us go?
Inside check.
Yeah, roll sense motive. Absolutely.
Sense motive +3.
This Pathfinder's insight. Man, I really like the way this lava came out. I'm super happy with it.
It looks good.
Ah, shit. That's a 9.
That's a 9. It's okay, because there's not a lot to get off this guys. They really do seem just like very nervous to be here, and you get a sense that that they want to get out of here for a couple of reasons. One of which being the fact they just watched you beat somebody down.
Max is gonna, again, he's gonna give him 3 ration packs for the 4 of them and just like, split these up. He's gonna be like, we came, from this area, head out towards there. Some of the other prisoners that we've released have already been going that way. Name is Max. This is Echo. This is Titus.
But before you go, what else can we expect in these caverns?
And as a reminder, Max has gotten some. I kind of glossed over it a little bit, but Max has gotten a loose description of like the barracks where they're all stored at. He's gotten like a loose description of just some of the inner rings and the fact that like that's where they bring the stuff. They like bring it back with them with shift change, and so these guys like know a lot of the same kind of stuff. So they say like you know, they they don't send a lot of us to dig out. The outside rings. The closer inside you get, the closer together the pits are going to be, and the bigger the pits are going to be. Um, they're going to say that these guys are horrible and they like to play tricks on us, and sometimes they'll like impersonate one of the prisoners and make him work next to him for a little while, and then throw in the real person's dead body and make them like work next to it for an entire work day. And so like they're talking about shape shifting stuff. The guy who was talking about the docks, reminds you, he's like, yeah, some of these guys can like change into animals. And sometimes they're small, quick animals, and sometimes they're big, scary animals. Um, they talk about, like dropping all this stuff off with, in the same place every day. And that, like somebody else like sorts it all. It's like somebody else's job. Like they're the diggers, then they're sorters. Um, and they say that let me do a quick knowledge roll for these guys. I just want to see what their kind of like circumstances are. Yeah, a lot of them don't seem to know a whole lot, but one of them does mention that they've actually that like people have talked about the hag. Like one of them has actually seen the hag, and they're like she, like lives underground, under the big hill at the center of town, and like she's the one who's responsible for like all of these like all this like magma and all this ash, and they've like when they saw her like wading through the lava and like swimming in it like it was like a hot tub, like it was a spa for her. And that was after doing like torturing and doing unspeakable things to some of these faceless men, the like little chumps that Jeremy the Titus was slashing through. Like he's talking about how she was like fucking torturing what are effectively her own guys, and then just like swimming around in lava for fun. He refers to her as quote unquote crazy, um, and dangerous. But that's like the gist of what you get from these guys as they all share kind of their own tidbits of what they know, um, about like what in response to your question, what can we expect? This is like what they think you might expect.
Oakley dokley.
Cool. Uh, okay, so you don't need us anymore, so we can go. The four guys say who are not the liar.
I think
Uh,
at this point we don't even need the liar. Like Echo has thrown the ration packet at him to be like, get out.
And he like runs up and follows out, and the five of them just like tromp off in the direction that Max had like directed, which leaves you guys alone at the bottom of your third pit of the day. You guys are responsible for the freedom of 14 individuals, 15 if you count the one who is like still here with you, Then, and he, you know, commends you guys for doing the right thing, and says that was. I know you got your own reasons for being here, but these people have been through a lot.
Hell yeah.
yep, can only hope that once they get out of here, they are able to make it back towards civilization because it's a rough road ahead.
Yeah. Well, I don't imagine they'll all make it back, but maybe some of them will.
Uh, Matt's turning toward like Echo and Titus. Like I can imagine shift change is gonna be soon, and I don't think we want to be here for we want to be here for this. Let's quickly toss the bodies in the lava, and let's get out of here until we can figure out our next plan.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys are gonna take a few minutes to toss the bodies in the burning river. Yeah.
Yes.
And then so that process takes just a few minutes, especially with Titus being the large dude that he is, just like flinging. He probably honestly isn't even dragging anybody. He's probably like like a teenager would practice basketball. He's just like grabbing him by the ankles and like spinning him around and just like chucking him towards the fucking lava. Um, so yeah, you guys are able to clear all that out. It's hard. Like time is really difficult in this place. Like you're really starting to understand what these guys are talking about when they're like, I have no son. It's hard to tell what time, like how much time has passed. We're just like we're just working all day. Other than the number of strikes of my pick against a rock, I have no other means of timekeeping. Um, so, but Max's comment does like hit you all. You've had that nagging feeling in the back of your head that like that ticking clock. You can feel the sand running through the hourglass. What is your guys' next move? What are you doing?
Look at Max and is like, we need to get to this dock.
I mean, I assume if we don't know the exact dot, that we just need to keep traversing through caverns. Yes.
Do you think that we're equipped to handle it? Said minimum 20 people. It's only 3 of us. 4 of us.
What else do you want us to do? Keep going through the camps?
We could head in.
And on that note, you guys have crossed from the seventh ring into the sixth. Like while you've been jumping from camp to camp, like you have made your way through the width of one of these rings, and like passed into the next like section of town.
Do you think that is a wise decision if the hag is closer? The closer we get to it?
I know that they'll eventually figure out what's within. Probably with the shift change, they'll figure out that someone's releasing prisoners, and they'll take action accordingly.
What I'm saying is, which is our better option? To go to where the docks are, where the light will be seen, or to stay in here where we will be found, or get closer to the hag?
So you go for the hag.
Should we not diminish the hag's forces as we have been?
That is what I am saying. Let's go to the docks. We can at least tell time out there. The hag is, if I imagine if the hag is as big and as powerful as they claim, 20 men is nothing compared to her.
Fair. Docks.
I'm in a bloodthirsty mood. Let's go to the docks.
Yeah. Also, like, I fully believe that crab eating all those little baby crabs is basically what that hag is. It's in the group. It's in the D&D Instagram
Yeah,
group chat.
I've seen that. I've seen that. Yeah.
Oh.
Great. So you guys want to head off towards the docks. The only real information you have is that it's on the north side. And as you guys are like looking around this place, you realize that knowing exactly which direction north is going to be a little bit of a challenge. And as you guys are getting your bearings, I actually need a perception check out of Pepper.
Okay.
Fuck.
Give me a second. Pepper's loading up. Okay. Okay. Gonna be a dirty 20, baby.
Nice.
A good eye.
Pepper's head like cocks to the side, and she like turns to you in what you can immediately tell is a panic, and she starts to like tug on you to try to get your attention, and like point towards the center of town, and using her like mime, mime language, she communicates to you that she hears a high pitched screeching, a warning. Something is something is yelling in a high pitched animal language.
Um, Echo kind of talking to Pepper, and she's just gonna be like, "Do you know what it says?" Like in Sylvan to Pepper's.
Um, and Pepper, doesn't necessarily know it in like human terms like you guys do, um, but she tells you it's saying something, and it's a loose translation, so keep that in mind. It's saying
Yeah.
warning, it's saying danger, and it's saying missing.
Echo's gonna look at Max and is like, "We need to get to the docks now. They know. They know."
Let's get going. I guess in terms of directions, for those first couple of camps, we came in from the
from
west side
from the
of the city.
southwest, because Echo did bring you off the path to lead you towards where she saw the light the night before, which did kind of drag you a little bit more south. But yeah.
And then I kind of assume we've gone in a bit of an
It's like a meandering pattern.
counterclockwise arc.
Counterclockwise arc.
Heading
Okay,
east.
I got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got you.
So I'm assuming, if we keep, heading like east, this is what Max is gonna say is, if we keep heading east, we go back to the outer wall, we can try and sneak within the cities if the camps aren't as close there.
And it is easy to find the outer wall because as a reminder, the smoke billows up against the dome and then kind of like falls down it, and so you can see this like dark, you know, zone where the dome is, and so you can't tell which direction is which, but you can tell basically how far from the center you are at any given point in time.
Yeah. Echo's gonna look at then and is like, "Do you think that will work?"
And then's gonna shrug and be like, I honestly don't know. He says, this is my first taste of freedom since I've been here, and you are obviously a very capable group, um, but the hag is no joke, and she is not the only being of power uh, who resides in this place.
Mm-mm. Echo is
Let's
just gonna be like, "We will go with your plan." And I guess we'll start marching. Can Echo do a survival to try to help us with that?
Yes, but I'm going to ask for it at the start of the next session because it's 10 o'clock and I got to work in the morning. So we've been playing for 3 hours, so that's a good solid session under our belts. You guys have a direction. You're gonna go check out the docks. You're gonna you can decide over the next week, because it's kind of an either or thing. Like you can take Max's suggestion and try and follow the outside wall, or Echo can try and lead you through the city, in a more direct route, assuming that her internal sense of direction can get you guys there. So you guys can take a week, figure out exactly how you want to proceed, and we will pick up next week with you guys doing whatever it is you're doing, rolling your survival checks, headed towards the wall and or the docks, and we'll just kind of keep on keeping on.
Cool bean.
Cool beans. Well, as always, thank you guys very much for playing.
Thank you for running.
Yeah,
Preach.
of course, always, 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 always. I don't know if I have anybody online right now. If any of my Twitch compadres are.
I think it's just me and Becky, assuming she's still here.
Yeah, it's you and Becky. Berto Dactyl's playing Halo 4, but I don't have anybody playing D&D. So I think we're just gonna end the stream tonight. But if Becky's still out there, you're the best, Becky. Thanks for being here. You're always welcome to join. And honestly, Becky, you could probably even like hop in fucking chat if you wanted to. Like I know a lot of times she's like doing her own thing, you know, and it's not that she doesn't want to talk to us, that she's like also playing fucking Sims in the background or whatever, and like
But at
you
the
know.
same time, I'm sure she would love to just rip on us for decisions we make.
Oh yeah,
In real.
I'm absolutely sure that she would enjoy that. So Becky is still here. Well, big hearts, Becky. Thank you for being here. We are wrapping up stream. You know the drill. We'll be back next week, continuing this nonsense. Friday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. I can say words. I'm gonna wrap up stream. Thanks for being here. You got
Sounds good.
you know how to get hold of me. We can talk later, friend.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Bye.